Alright, sorry about that. I am back. Had a minor technical issue I had to deal with. So yeah, welcome back to Warframe Wednesdays. Let's try that again. Hi, welcome back to Warframe Wednesdays. I'm your intrepid Tenno Fraggoth, and today we're going to be doing some Warframe. Yay! We have our Kuva Heck, we're leveling that. We have our Tenant Exec, we've done leveled that. I made a critical tactical error, a grievous tactical error, last week by buying and building the parts to Limbo for Helminth when I didn't need to. So I blew 75,000. What's his face standing? Samara standing. And if you don't think I cursed a little when I learned that, I'm out of weapon slots. Oh my goodness. Okay. Fortunately, I can afford them right now. This won't be true in about a month. Alright. So, Tenant Exec is at 5 form already, so let's snag the Venato. Caliban signature Scythe forged from the limb ripped off a fallen Eidolon centuries ago. 50% increased melee combo counter chance. Wielded by Caliban. So we're going to equip that. We'll also equip Caliban, because why not? Cali! I want to see high combo. In fact, no, I've got my mod set on. Alright, this was my loadout. I kind of didn't like that. I kind of prefer this. Yeah, max duration build. For maximum giggles, you have these guys floating around for 80 seconds at a whack. This which has no range, this which has no range, this which has no range. Because it's a no range build. Honestly, I'd probably be better off with my all-rounder, but here we are. Actually, I'd kind of like to make a shield-oriented build. Maybe I'll make this my shield-oriented build. Shields. This might be the shield-oriented build. Let me check. Shield. Okay, I could get you on there. You I don't really care about. Not really worried about shield recharge because I have my friends. These guys are going to give me quite a lot of shield recharge at once. 38.5 times 3, I believe. I think it's times 3 for each of them. I really do need to make sure. Either way, it's pretty substantial. The main perk that these guys give, though, is even if you have maxed shields, like the Protea shield orbs, they grant overshield. Most other shield restoring sources of power-based shield restore, I don't think shield regen, I should say. Most other sources of shield regen, not restore, won't give you overshield. A lot of the things that'll like do a chunk of shield will give you some overshield. Overshield isn't all that practical, other than having extra barrier, unless you are Hildred, in which case overshield means you get no status procs from elemental status types, anyway. That disappears as soon as you leave overshields, though, and then she becomes immensely vulnerable to, I'm having a hard time with words today because I've had 1 cup of coffee and I'm halfway through my second, and my brain doesn't do good. Toxin. Toxin damage is bad for Hildred. Hildred does not like toxin damage. Toxin kills the Hildred. So Infested make her a bit nervous, and justifiably so. So I'm going to start pulling some mods out of here. I like this all-rounder build. I should really buy an extra loadout slot, but like, it's 10 flat. 10 flat on it. Not until Caliban Prime. So not all the things that grant shield capacity say shield capacity either, I don't think. He can get up to quite a lot of shields. And I believe overshields are calculated. The amount of maximum overshields you can have are calculated based on based on your total, your max shields, not your base. But that might be wrong information, so again, do not quote me on that. Alright, so I'm gonna nix you. Okay. Dock you over there, we'll do auger accord. Now I can figure out what I want to do. I might put Streamline back on. Kind of like Streamline. Plus, with Boreal's Hatred, I have, well, I don't strictly need it. I've got Primed Flow, which is giving me more, yeah, 2,000 shields is pretty good. Like, that's a lot. That's second to Hildred, and that's about it. I don't know if there are many other frames that can get up there, including Mag. Harrow might. Harrow has a lot. I haven't checked. I don't play Harrow much. I have a friend who does, so I pretend that I know how Harrow works, because he's good at Harrow, but I am not. I have a hard time with his rhythm. He's not bad, I don't know how to use him. So that's all me, not other people. Most frames are like that. It's like Grendel. I keep trying to understand Grendel, and I'm like, okay, so he's got hard CC, but he has like a zillion ways to lose energy. And I feel like I'm losing it all the time. So, like, Rage is mandatory, because he's got a big health pool. I just don't like how the mods balance out on him, and how you have to put a bunch into, like, auxiliary mods that aren't what I would want to put on there. I like min-maxing builds for power sets, and he kind of requires some utility mods on there to function. Caliban, on the other hand, kind of doesn't. We're doing this shields build kind of just for the giggle factor. Do I have any V polarity mods here? They're worth equipping. Not really, because I think Augur Secrets is a hyphen. It is. Okay. So I've got 16 points to work with, which is a lot. So I can mix Intensify, replace Umbral, Intensify, so I have a bit more strength. I would kind of like more range, but I don't need it, so I'm going to go with more... oh, adaptation would be a good idea, actually. People who have like a regenerating source of health or energy benefit so much from adaptation. Oh wait, no, adaptation does nothing on Caliban. Sorry. That's not true. It does do things on Caliban, but you don't need it because you've already got it built in. Right. Arcane Aegis, because Arcane Aegis is really good. It's low-key very, very strong. It doesn't activate all that frequently. Like I recently got into a debate with someone over, a couple people actually, over the relative merits between Arcane Aegis and Arcane Barrier. And the bottom line for me is that while Arcane Barrier is rarer and therefore should be fancier, and it does have like double the chance to activate, 6% chance, it also has a 6-second cooldown. And it only works the one time when it happens, and it can happen at any time during the depletion of your shields. Enemy damage occurring on your shields. So like, say you're getting shot on your shields and you lose like 10 health, or you lose 10 shields, and then Arcane Barrier activates, you just restore 10 shields and now have to wait 6 seconds for anything to happen. for this thing to benefit you at all. Compare contrast to Arcane Aegis, where, yeah, it's a lower chance to occur, but once it kicks in, it's active for 12 seconds. And unless you get a Toxin proc on you, you cannot lose health. Because of the way, or if, I mean, maybe if you took, like, a truly gargantuan hit of damage, like one-shot territory, which would kill you no matter what, something that would thoroughly bypass shield gating, which won't happen on Hildred, I don't think, because she's got, like, a forced 3-second invulnerability, whereas everyone else gets, like, a second or a third of a second. for shield gating. It's short. Everybody else gets something very short. Hildren gets a very long one. You can rig and gimmick it, and you can be very, very strong as a result. I'm going to turn the music down a smidge. We're listening to the actual ripped OGG files from my copies of Oath and Ys, the Oath and Felgana, and Ys 6, the Arkham Pishta. We'll get there. So, the practical upshot of Arcane Aegis is, while it does activate less frequently, when it is active, it is extremely strong and you're basically unkillable, provided your frame has shields at all. Despite the fact that Grendel has shields, I would not put this on him. I wouldn't, because he only has like 75 at level 30, which is nothing. Nothing. It may as well not be there. And it restores 30% of your shields every second for 12 seconds. The description on this is actually very misleading. The description on this sounds like, oh, it's going to give you plus 30% to your shield recharge rate for 12 seconds. No. No. That would be unbelievable trash. That would make it like the worst arcane in the game. It does not work like that. It gives you 30% of your shields, your max shields, is constantly regenerated for 12 seconds. Which is absolutely bonkers. Particularly if you have high shields. Even if you don't have high shields, it's bonkers, because anything less than your, greater than your shield's total capacity in damage received per hit, you're just gonna shrug off and laugh at. You do not care about. Steel Path is where this is going to start having some trouble, but so is everything. I would honestly, if your frame has, even average shields and default shields, I would consider this over Arcane Grace, unless you're going full health and armor durability. And you have unless you've got a really meaty health pool, I kind of don't like Arcane Grace, even though it activates very frequently, and it is a lifesaver. But man, Arcane Aegis is brutal. It's great for you when it works. Which isn't as often as I'd like, I'm sure, but it's pretty rad. And the more shields you have, the more effective it is. Now, another practical upshot of Arcane, way that Arcane Aegis is superior to Arcane Barrier is in relation to... So, say you've got a maxed shield build, Hildren, which gives you, I think, 6,000 shields. I can find that out. One sec, Hildren, because I've got one. Hildy. Yeah, 6,030 shields, so just round it to 6,000. Say it's about 6,000 shields. Arcane Barrier, at absolute best, in the most lucky possible thing that can occur, is going to give you roughly 5,999, because I'm not 100% sure that either of these can kick in anymore while you're in the invulnerability phase of the shield gating. I'm not 100% sure on that. I've read mixed reports that it still can, but I have not seen it happen for myself. And it would be kind of obnoxious to test, so I'm not going to. So the most this can ever restore is 1 point, call it your max shield count, so 6,000 shields, 6,030 shields, once, every 6 seconds, at best, if you're extremely lucky. Arcane Aegis, if it activates, it can restore... for Hildren, I think I mathed it out as 24,000 shields over that entire duration if you're taking constant damage the whole way through, which is unlikely. You're going to hit your max shield cap pretty quick, because at 6,000 shields you're restoring 2,000 shields per second. Think on that for a moment. That's a lot of damage for 12 seconds. It's nutty how good Arcane Aegis is. And you're unkillable for that duration. You're so hard to kill. The only things that take priority over Aegis and Barrier, damage taking wise, are Rhino's Iron Skin, anything that gives you like an extra like health barrier on top of your shields. So Rhino's Iron Skin prevents all damage except for the damage hitting Iron Skin. Um, Revenant's little phase shield thing, and Amesha, the Arcwing, has the same thing that Revenant has for Revenants too. Very strong, those abilities, because you are completely invincible while they're occurring, while they're on. These will not activate Arcane Aegis and Arcane Barrier, Cali, unless you've got shields taking damage. It used to be that they activated back in like before 2019 or 2020. They worked if you took any kind of damage at all. They could kick in. So they were kicking, well, Aegis anyway. So it kicked in all the time. It was like sleeper superb. It's not that good. It's not as good as it used to be anymore, but it's still quite powerful. What was the other thing I wanted to put on here? Oh yeah, more strength, right. I can't easily do that without causing myself some heartburn. Actually, I can do that. That'll be okay, right? What does that come out to? 14 points, crap. Because I'm, like, on caffeine right now, I can't think about math too good. My math skills reduce in direct proportion to my caffeination. So we're going to put you there. That gives me 6 points to work with. What polarity things do I have that I can equip? I can't equip Intensify. I can do Intensify and, like, something else, yeah. Range is kind of... I don't need it. Yeah, I'll do Intensify and Secrets, I think. That gets me up. It's not huge, but it's not bad either. I'll call you Shields. Rename, there we go. More of a goofy durability build than anything. This is the duration. Power, which is okay. I'm surprised by how much damage this ability deals, flat out. But like, I'm having a hard time gauging when it's kicking in against like bossy enemies. Like, I like the 123% damage vulnerability, but I think it might only apply when they are lifted and at no other time, which seems crap to me. Like, really, really bad. So I'm kind of like, alright, then Armor Strip, I guess, from Fusion Strike, which is extremely expensive to cast. I'm just kind of sitting here scratching my head, being like, you know, his 1 is worthless. His 1 is how you get killed. His 1's really bad. Yes, you can cast Sentient Wrath, and quite quickly. It basically makes it so that Sentient Wrath has no cast time. But this drains energy like crazy, and it doesn't do much. Like, it says it does, you know, X amount of damage, you know, 1760 slash, damage increase per second when you channel it. You can teleport to enemies over a certain distance, which is cool, but... And you do, quote, heal, unquote. But I think you might only heal when you're hitting enemies, so... And you might be, like, unknock-outable of it. Like, unless you're killed, but unfortunately, you'll get killed, so... Because you just sit there spinning. You look like an idiot. You can't cast your 4 while you're doing it. I don't actually know if you can cast your 3. You can definitely cast your 2. So far, his 3, pretty okay. They act as a meat shield. They also provide you with extra shields. That's cool. His 2, if it works on enemies that aren't lifted, is okay. for the damage vulnerability. His 4 would be okay if it weren't so expensive, but it does armor strip, so that's got some value if you're not, you know, built to deal with armor already, which most of the time, yeah, kind of a bit. I forget how much you need. You need like over 200%, I think. Let me just real quick. Okay, that's at 229. Let's go with Transient Fortitude. Yeah, I think that's about 200% because I did this. I did the math on this. Let's say. Yeah, it's at 200%. At 200%, you get rid of all their armor or shields, apparently. Which is easy to deal with. Magnetic just shreds shields so well that I almost don't really care. So 200 power strength plus basically whatever else you want to do, honestly, and you're pretty much Gucci. Getting that without other concessions is where things are complicated. Right now, like, I prefer a bit more duration, but you don't need it, strictly speaking. Where are you? I had a build for this, but I got rid of it in favor of something silly, like favor of the maxed strength build. Okay, we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna put where are you? Other secrets. I want regular intensify. I can leave Transient Fortitude on there. That's not so bad. It's not that impressive, but it'll do. Actually, that means I can put a regular intensify on here, and that'll get me a bit more. I'd really like to break the threshold, though, to be honest. How can I do that? I can put in regular flow, because I don't need tons of energy. You don't need tons of energy. Let's go with intensify on that. That puts me 199. Oh! Oh, but I can't. Can I do regular continuity? Can I still get away with that? I can still get away with that. And then I can put in, I am still short. Ah! I can bump down to a lower level flow. I need to do a lower level flow by 2 points. Right? Flow. I can only have 2 points on the flow. Okay. Very good. And now I can do strength. Power drift. And that'll put me at 200 on the dot. And I shouldn't have compromised in terms of shields. I did not. This is probably going to be my workhorse build, because this gives me the full armor strip. I've got 50 shields per second. I've got 70% damage vulnerability on the lifted enemies, which is aight. So we're pretty okay here. Kinda, sorta. Ideal world, I'd put another depolarity in. Or something. But yeah, this I think will probably be... I'm gonna, in fact, shift that there. Make that my primary build. Duration isn't all there, but you don't need tons. I mean, 25 seconds for these guys is pretty okay anyway. And maxing out your duration so that it's 80.25 seconds is wholly unnecessary. I mean, you get to have shields literally all day, but like it doesn't do you much good. But it is cool. And then, of course, having an enemy lifted for 30 seconds is kind of neat. So, there's some give and take there. But Arcane Aegis, particularly on anybody who's got adaptation, benefits you immensely. Any kind of damage resist is going to help you, because any damage resist powers other than armor that work on your shields as well. So Mesa, Neja, their adaptation, Caliban's passive. There's another one I'm forgetting. Oh, Baruch's 2 or 3, the one with the daggers around you, that provides damage resist. Any of those, because they reduce your incoming damage completely, from, no matter what health type they're hitting. Arcane Aegis benefits because that's more chances for it to kick in. And then it's recharging, and if you've got adaptation on, you're reducing the amount of damage you're taking as that's recharging. So it's just like, it works out, is what it does. It's very good. It is worth looking at anyway. I would not say it is the best survivability arcane, but it is I wouldn't say it's the best arcane at all. I think Arcane Energize still is kind of like hands down the best, unless you're Lavos or Hildren, who do not benefit from that, as far as I'm aware. That's right, I don't have my duplicate Caliban yet. We're not going to farm for my duplicate Caliban. Instead, I'm going to see if anybody is doing Lich Murmurs. Oh, that's right, the Prime Resurgence finale started. I'm going to check that and see.
Resistance crushed. Troops, begin optimizing the local workforce.
So I've been looking at, because I know last time I was looking at mastery totals and I was like, there's no way. What I wasn't taking into account was nodes from Steel Path and how much mastery I actually have left to get from that. And if I get everything, including Harrow Prime and his weapons, and fill out everything, you will be over the mastery threshold for Legendary 2 by like 635 mastery points, which is nothing. That's very little. I thought it was going to be a more significant gap than that. I'm going to browse the wares. I'm going to hide my owned. Okay, yeah, it is just still those 3. I was pretty sure I had all the relevant cosmetics, except for those 3, which I'll maybe get. I don't know. I haven't caved yet. These I don't have, apparently, which is interesting. I can get one of each, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, yeah. I get one of each. Partly to just winnow them out of my list. I have not farmed for Aya, because I have various primes, and regular Aya doesn't do me any good.
From memory to reality, quick as a bow shot.
Regal Aya does, but I've been very hesitant to actually blow any money on it, because I'm sort of unsold on this being the way going forward. I'd kind of prefer this over the other Prime Vault stuff, but at the same time I'd also kind of like to buy just accessories packs and call it a day. Like if you're offering me accessories, just offer me accessories, you know? Don't bundle them in, which I do like about this, but you can piecemeal it, and I think the math doesn't quite work out the same way, but it's close. I sort of wish they let you do it for Platinum, but I can understand why they didn't, so here we are. Alright, let me see if anyone's doing Kuva Murmurs, and if they're not, that's okay. I can wait on my Kuva Zarr, which will be the last of the Kuva Lich weapons that I need to get. and I will only need to acquire the remaining Tenet weapons and then all of Harrow Prime stuff, which I've been holding off on doing, mostly because I'm cautiously optimistic that I'll be able to get some of the required relics from
these offerings are pure.
From these relic packs, which I haven't been able to buy much of lately because I've been re-leveling my syndicates, changing my syndicate priorities. I am still in Steel Path. I am still in Steel Path. I forgot to equipment arson. Actions. Potat. Gib Potat. And we'll put on Stalking Fan because it matches the polarity. Yay. And now we're going to do... So we have plus 50% combo generation. We're going to go for a combo generation. Combo. Where are you? How slash happy is this? It's not very slash happy, so we're not going to worry about that. Quickening. Yes. Click. Bonus combo count chance. I don't know how lifty this is. I really wish that these showed like the damage types and damage amounts that they were doing, like the wiki shows, because those are very helpful, and I don't like having to open the wiki every single time I want to look that up. Alright, so I want to go for huge combo count chance, but I'm also going to have to plop in for duration. That's okay, because there is the perfect mod for that in Drifting Contact. 5 points. Ha! For 10 seconds of combo duration. So what's cool about the combo duration reducers is they only apply to your base combo duration. Thank goodness, because stuff like Drifting Contact and Gladiator Rush and Body Count provide a flat numerical amount as opposed to a percentage amount of your combo duration, which is kind of good. And I guess we'll get Blood Rush on there. Yeah, we might as well, because we're going to be getting high combo chance. We'll get you on there, because crit. This isn't a super critty weapon, but it's not terrible critty weapon either, which is nice. I mean, having initial combo is good. Don't get me wrong. It's not at all bad. I'm running out of slots to work with here is the problem, and I'm having to prioritize, because I do want to get my crit damage crit. I don't really care about heavy attacks. I'd kind of like to get my base crit up higher. Crit, 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 crit. Where is Organ Shatter? There you are. Plop. Plop. My only problem now is I don't have any base damage. But, on the other hand, 80% plus a crit multiplier that's going to skyrocket. Combo. And I want to get, I keep meaning to do builds on weapons to get Weeping Wounds working for me. And the status on this isn't terrible. Scythes are kind of in an iffy spot at the moment. Could do you. Or Corrupt Charge. Corrupt Charge being nice for just starting you off at 2x multiplier. So I'll have that much more crit. But I need damage. I need some damage. Let's go with heat. I don't know. 5.3 crit damage isn't bad. Heat stack's okay. It's not great. It's either that or Toxin. We're in Steel Path. I don't expect this weapon to be doing a whole ton of work for me at this point. I am probably going to get shellacked. Oh, that's right. I have, what is that thing called? It's a Sugatra. It's a sentient Sugatra thing. Here we go. It's more over there. So we have a dangler. It dangles. So we have a lot of combo chance. I expect to be hitting 12x combo pretty quick. So we'll see. Actually, with that in mind, because I will be able to take advantage of... I don't have the points for it, do I? And I don't have any speed on this either. It looks like it's going pretty quick, though, because of quickening, thank goodness. I'll leave it. We'll see how it performs. If it doesn't perform, we don't worry about it. Alright. We're going to do some Steel Path. I do have some junctions to bang out. I also have some Steel Path incursions to bang out. I'm going to do some of that. I am on global, very good. Ooh, an assassination? All in Uranus. Again, go for it. Oh yeah, that's a lot of combo very quickly. I should have gotten. What's it called? More speed mods on. And it does look like this has combos that lift, which is good. I gotta get moving. Oh yeah, 3,200.
Down on us if I have to.
You might just.
No.
I guess my thing is, I'd kind of rather use Protea, even though I have a nasty tendency to get really messed up when I play Protea.
Worthless, ugly freaks!
Yeah, I would kind of like more. Wow, his armor is still gone. That's... Where are you? Oh, he's on top.
Nowhere left to hide. Nowhere left to run.
Nice stalker costume. Let's see, massive numbers here.
Come near me, and I'll to a tiny cube.
Yeah, like, Caliban's abilities that deal damage aside from his one do hurt, but, like... they're, like, flat damage amounts. They're high flat damage amounts, but that's all they are, and that's kind of a problem. Can't run! He couldn't run. So his 2 and his 4 synergize quite handily. Get shanked. They have been inshankerated. I do need more of the steel path resource anyway.
Here will serve you well.
Nice, got a night aspect blueprint. Steel path is not where I would farm for blueprints. Definitely not. It is not safe. Decidedly unsafe. It's very durable enemies that kill the crap out of you. Pretty hot. They bring severe pain to your person. It's not so good. Master rank 17's doing steel path. Sure, why not? I don't know. I mean, you can get access to it fairly early. I think you have to be like, what, MR10, MR14. There is a limit, but I don't remember what it is. Exterminate Corpus. Armor Strip is slightly better than Shield Strip, but we can do that. Rush. I don't even know what Rush is. Phobos, Kepler. I think that's an arc. I mean, that's saying it's an arc. Whatever. This is also apparently an Arcwing mission. Arcwing stuff is easy. I don't remember what I equipped because I finished leveling up my Kuva Zarr. Did I equip... Oh, okay. So I equipped the Mausolon. Mausolon is strong. Kuva Zarr's actually quite respectable. I think in certain situations it outdamages the Mausolon. But the Mausolon is pretty good. There's a lot to recommend it. Partly because it comes free with any necromech you get. Be it the Bone Widow or the other one, whose name I can't remember because my brain's not working. It'll come to me. Oh, that was brief. Oh, I got another cold snap. Neat. I deem this acceptable. Advantages that the Kuva Zarr has: capacity. Since you can have up to 80 points of total capacity, so you can equip absolutely anything on that you want. Also, it starts off with a ton of polarized mod slots. Like a nutty nutty amount of polarized mod slots. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, you will fill up every single slot with a polarization. It's kind of goofy. You do not need that many. You don't need that many for anything. Definitely don't need it for that. I don't remember what rush missions are? Are these the ones where you blow up the core? It's been a very long time. I don't do tons of Arcwing
We don't have
anymore.
much time. Race to the loading docks and destroy enemy transports before they can escape.
Get out of my way. Thank you. I'm just gonna bang into a few walls so I can get more
First
energy.
transport is about to depart.
I have no idea what this is. I don't think I've ever done this consciously.
You're halfway there.
Don't get too motion sick as I do this.
Boy isn't going to be happy about this.
The loading docks are just ahead. Get ready. You need to disable shields before you can attack the transport. Target the orbitals. The transport is fully loaded.
Oh.
Transport, you're vulnerable. Get out of there.
Things, though, that the Mausolon does have going for it, huge ammo capacity. Things that are not so good. Wow, that was it? Okay. That was pretty easy. Things it does not have going for it is a very long delay before it starts regenerating ammo. If you ever have questions about what arc gun to take at any given time, you can't go wrong with the Mausolon. It does a lot right. There are other weapons that do things a bit better in certain situations, like the Velocitus does unbelievably colossal damage on single shots that are charged. It can do a lot of damage, but it's not as easy to use. It's quite clunky. The Larkspur is very easy to use, but it has range issues, and it can have damage issues situationally, but it's very easy to use. The Kuva Grappler is kind of like the regular Grappler is kind of like a proto-Mausolon. The Mausolon is like a better Grappler. The Kuva Grappler is kind of like a slightly tweaked version thereof. There's some others, like... Oh, what's the other one? Fluctus. Fluctus is your other utility gun. You will rarely be in a situation, particularly in like Shark Wing missions, stuff that's underwater using Arcwing, where where are you? Fluctus doesn't serve you very, very well. It's got pretty good range. It's got pretty good damage. It's a good all-around weapon. I highly recommend it. And it shoots through absolutely anything. The Kuva Ayanga has a very low total ammo cap, but it regenerates very quickly, so you can pretty much be shooting all the time. Also, big boom booms everywhere, which is awesome. Highly recommend. I really have to put more time into the Cortege and Morga. They were okay. The Morga kind of sucked. Its secondary fire is really strong, but its primary kind of was physical pain to use. Most of the arc gun shotguns are pretty trash. Like the Corvus, I have a very hard time recommending the Corvus. It hits like a truck when you charge it up, but it's unwieldy. It's just not. I didn't like it very much. It looks cool though. I think it looks cool. Dual Decurions are bad. Prisma Dual Decurions are bad. Phaedra's okay. I have a Riven that gives it, like, dumb fire rate. I'd probably recommend the Imperator Vandal over it in most circumstances. I think this has slightly higher crit. No, that one has higher crit. In most circumstances, I'd recommend the Imperator Vandal over it. Regular Imperator's okay. I'd probably recommend the Phaedra over the regular Imperator, situationally, because I think it does more damage per shot. Where are you? 400, 500, no. 14, 36, 5 versus... No, this does more. Never mind. Does the Phaedra have the high fire rate? It has slightly higher fire rate. Yeah. But the Imperator Vandal has it beat. Phaedra's kind of eh. The only reason I would even recommend it at all is if you get a good Riven for it, because it's a very low dispo. But you won't see me recommending weapons based on low dispo, making them good for Riven fodder. I will never recommend a weapon based on Rivens, ever. Even though I just kind of did. I didn't, though. I didn't really. Not really. Cortege is a giant flamethrower, it's okay. Its secondary fire is okay, too. The flamethrower is neat. The Mausolon's just good all around. Like, it's very hard to go wrong with. Oh, what is my companion? I should have all the companions now maxed out. I have a companion of every type. Now dealt with and done. Thank goodness. I can just keep my Helios Prime on and never worry about it ever again. What are the other two on here? Let's bang these out. Mob Def. That's Grenier. Interception Defeat Grenier. This could get hairy. Oh, that's Kuva Fortress. Ick. I'm gonna have to be on my A game. Look at that. No damage. None. I hate Grenier. Let's steal that. I hate them so much. I'm also not built to deal with these things right now at all. I'm not at all built to handle Grenier at the moment, or anything. I'm fairly under-equipped. I'm getting carried. This will change. Oh boy. I no armor having silly people. Pop! Pop! There we go. Actual damage isn't that nice. I need to get better reload on that. That's what I'm talking about. I need a combo of... What's my... I don't remember. It's a lot. You need a lot. Oh my gosh, this stance is so clunky! Oh yeah, like 221. I was gonna say like 150. Yeah, that'll happen. Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah, duration's a bit of an issue for him. That's like, a lot of my initial impressions were of Caliban were like, oh, it's he's sort of like Revenant by way of Zaku, and actually playing him has not disabused me over much of that particular notion. That has largely been borne out in a lot of ways. Okay, so it's more like 200 something to get to 12. Which, as you can see, doesn't really matter all that much. Like, I'm doing constant red crits, but I'm doing no damage because I have no damage buttons on. gonna die from physics. I don't even have to shoot this one. There we go. Once you get their armor stripped, they take a lot of damage. But with their armor on, they do not care much. And I've got that 125% damage boost, which is, incidentally, substantially better than most other damage boosts that affect enemies directly. Like, what's her face? Nova, I think is only... Actually, she doubles it, doesn't she? Never mind. It's not that much better.
Location reached.
And that's, like, I'm only doing more than that. Because I've got my damage, my power strength basically maxed. I could feasibly get a few more percent in. I think I could get up to like 366-ish. My Kuva Heck is right now in a very much in a work in progress state. I need a few more polarizations before it's really going to kick in. I didn't like that flicker. I didn't like that. Angst? I guess I'm not surprised. Well, I just armor stripped him, so he's about to have a bad time. No, go away. So Caliban's not terrible. I do feel he holds up fairly well just because of that armor strip. But that's not ordinarily what I'd recommend him for, or recommend a frame for outright. Ooh, this frame armor strips. Well, that's nice, but like. His survivability is okay. He's like an okay frame. I don't think he does anything outright bad except for his one, which is like I can't recommend any less. I mean, sure you get health regen, but health regen is not why you're playing Caliban. He doesn't have much health.
Good dance.
Oh, that's good. I do need that. I need more of that, please. Oh, I keep forgetting that I am also leveling up the Sirocco. I forgot that I had it, honestly, at the end of New War. Totally forgot. It's a fancy amp. Actually pretty damaging.
Yeah, I got 43 melee kills. That's great, guys. Goodbye.
I'm gonna go do that interception. Interception should be a bit easier. Dee-da-dee-da-dee-dum. Alator. Mars. I went with a black and white energy color because I kind of did the same thing for Revenant because a lot of the energy effects he has look pretty cool with it, I think.
These foes deserve your respect. Honor them with quick deaths.
Sort of give a weird photo-negative effect on a lot of, I can't do this solo. Okay, that's not true. I can probably do this solo. I do not want to do this solo. That's some honesty. Much better. Hey guys, what's going on? What's going on, guys? How's it hanging? Wow, none of you got affected. That's cool. That's super not okay. Okay, well, give me back my energy, please. Thank you. Oh, it's you. I see. Go away. Stop it. Stop it. Wow, nothing's dying. Okay. I have ways and means. Oh. I don't. Alright, one down.
Towers now.
This is going to fail.
We have lost control of the tower.
This is good.
Tower capture. Beginning stream decode now.
It is a pretty substantial damage increase that you can do. I am unsure. Oh, okay. There we go. That got a whiff up. I am unsure if you're not better served. I hate this stance. Like, I cannot speak to how much I hate this stance. This stance is dreadful. Oh, there is Sarah? Alright, it's fine. I don't want to stay on this point all day, but I'll do it. Look at that. 12x combo. These guys do not care. I love Steel Path. I am not on the ball. Oh, they're gone. Okay, that's fine. I am kind of glad that it's a Saren, though, because... Yo, go away. Stop it. Stop trying to take this point, please. Thwack. About to run out of my shield recharging Goonaloids, whom I adore greatly. They are good distractions. See, that looked like it showed 10,000 damage there for a sec, but they don't really care about that. That is our friend Ongst. Once he shows up, I'll get up in his business, but not until then. Oh hey, yoink. Oh, misery. Sorry. One of the edgelords. Oh, they're way over there. Alright.
Hi, Mithery. How's it going? Stop running, please. Thank you.
I have to reload. That's fine.
He did. He did.
Now I think Caliban grants his 2, if memory serves. That's what I wanted to do. It is a pretty good crowd control ability for anything that isn't like, you know, Kuva Lich or, you know, any boss type enemy that just doesn't care about being lifted. I don't really like the lift status effect in truth, because you're kind of stuck when you do it, because enemies just kind of juggle around wherever the hell they want, and you don't really have a whole mountain of control over it. Where did he go?
They are broadcasting another message.
Stay
Make sure the enemy never receives it.
He'll get his first. I'll transition to Charlie.
Capture a radio tower. The enemy
That stings. Please stop.
must be captured.
deal with Alpha in a
Capture
minute.
the tower.
I should have gone with Toxin, maybe.
Many things have been taken from us. It's true. But fortune favors the bold. And there ain't none so bold as people with nothing to lose.
Tower lost. You have captured a radiant tower.
Peace, dude. I do like how durable Conquilists are. They're very durable. I have not had a situation where I've actively seen them die yet. They just don't do a lot of damage to enemies. Unfortunately. Back on the point. Where's D? We're on D.
Keep it up.
Whatever. As long as we hold three or more points, we're fine. Don't worry, just ignore my freaking laser beams. I don't like it, Sam. I do not like it. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad they're here, getting the real damage in on enemies. Like, I'm hitting enemies hardish, but it's not like, oh my god, I have no energy. Oh my god. There we go. I'd still, if you care about crowd control, Limbo. Like, don't look nowhere else. Limbo is your crowd control. He does not care. Limbo giggles. Limbo giggles. He has a sort of effete little titter that he does every single time an enemy is like, I'm going to approach this area. And he says, where's your hall pass? And they say, hall what? He's like, badges, you know? And they're like, badges, badges, we don't need no stinking bat. And then they're like frozen in time for like a solid minute. As he just like takes photos of them in compromising positions. Limbo is a very rude dude. Like he dresses like a dapper gentleman, but he's actually an uncouth knave when it comes to punishing who he deems to be guilty and deserving of said punishment. He's wrathful. He's a wrathful son of a bitch. Baween. Oh, hi. It's a friend. Come here, friend. Oh my gosh, he's gonna blend right into the entire crew. Where is you?
We have to
No, seriously, where is he?
The remaining enemies must not report back to their command. Eliminate everyone.
They could be anywhere. I would like very much to kill them before the timer goes out, but that looks like it is not going to happen. I have no idea where they are. Ah, there they are. Hi. Strip down. And assume the looting position. Wait, where'd you go? Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the damage amp doesn't work unless they're actually actively lifted. Need more energy, please. Thank you. This one is not getting actively lifted. The armor strip works, though, which is nice. I didn't do that. Yeah, no. Hell with this. Where's my gun? Spin to win, broski. Okay, don't. He did. Well, that was frustrating.
So we learn the importance
Still,
of
we got a
clarity.
bunch of extra steel assets, which is nice. And 2 of these, which is great. Maxed out our Venato, which is great, so I can move on to the other one. Yay! I can switch on to another frame that I actually want to play. Yay! That's great! I'm not saying Caliban's bad, he's not. But... Would I say he's steel path viable? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, he's steel path viable. Probably fares better than a lot of frames in that respect, actually. But caveats. Oh, did I not claim my Neferi? Hello? Oh yeah, I didn't because I have a tiny frame. Don't worry about it. Let's equip the Neferi. Action. So we can equip Spinning Needle. This is what we can equip. And what we also get out of this is... Which is the combo that does it? Neutral. Okay, so I need to look for dual... There's Contempt, Plop. I need to max you out. Mods. Fusion. Ha. So on heavy attack we'll teleport to enemies as well, but mostly we're getting a bunch of extra slash damage, and mostly we're getting 90% melee damage. A bit of extra slash damage. Who cares, right? I don't. Not especially. If there were an actual element involved, you'd see a much bigger response from me. In truth. But it has built-in heat damage, which is cool. We like that. Toxin, let's go with magnetic. No, that'll do magnetic gas. I don't want that. Something with heat. That's relevant. Radiation, I guess. Radiation it is! I also want to get Quicken on there. Quick. Hold on. Is that a ribbon? For these? I don't think so. No, just melee ribbons and saw ribbons, which I'll unveil someday. When I care. Not today. I know before I've made my opinions on my negative opinions towards Riven's pretty clear. If they were like purely utilitarian, as opposed to like straight up damage power creep, I think I would have been a lot more thrilled about them. I much preferred the method they were doing before with Syndicate mods for specific weapons that provided some weapon-specific buff. I was much more fond of that. The current arrangement has not been to my liking, but it has, I guess, stimulated the in-game economy, so it can't be all that bad, right? Because, you know, capitalism reigns supreme. The invisible hand of the free market will determine the course forward, the path forward. Woo! Woo! Right. Let's get Berserker Fury on there. And now we can go for those elemental mods. We'll go for, yeah, because we've got heat on there. We don't necessarily want gas damage. Remember when gas damage was really good? I do. It was my go-to for a while. When I was in doubt, when it wasn't corrosive. If I wasn't fighting Grenier, it was gas damage, because it's like, oh yeah, it's relevant. It's always relevant. That stopped being the case. You could resist the initial gas damage hit, but then the proc would actually be worth something. Now, not so much now. Not so much at all now. I sigh. Very wetly, because I've got a stuffy head because I'm drinking coffee. Tries me out in the wrong way. Let's go with, radiation. You and you should be adequate for my needs. We have 6 points left over. Ooh. Turn the voltaic into shocking. What's the stats at? 72% is pretty good. Man, remember when Blast was irrelevant? Was not totally irrelevant? Yeah, neither do I. At least at one time, Blast did good crowd control, and it meant that you could have a weapon dedicated to doing blast damage and just making enemies not able to hurt you. Those were good days. Isn't there a mod for dual daggers? It was a very long time ago, though. Like, seriously, it was a really long time ago. Now it's like, oh, they just kind of miss you sometimes. Oh. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? So upset. And Impact now is like, oh yeah, well you can sometimes execute them. It makes you more likely to do it on the few units that you can actually do an execution on. On everything else, you may as well not have Impact, because it does you no good. Well, it slightly damages shields more than, like, I don't know, Slash. I'm like, or you could use Magnetic and just giggle. Nah, the current, like, half the changes to elemental status types, status 2.0 or whatever we got around to. Half of the changes are great, and they make some of the stuff really strong, and the other half are like, wow, let's take already underperforming things and make them actively worse. Why would we do that? Who knows? We made Heat superb. Toxins, okay. Toxin's good. Cold isn't. Radiation is radiation. Basically does what it used to do, only now enemies that are irradiated do more damage to each other. Big friggin' deal. Like, seriously, big friggin' deal. Magnetic is really not changed all that much. It kills shields. That's what it does. Gas was made actively worse because now it no longer does continuous toxin procs. It does gas procs, and most things don't care about gas damage at all. Resist it. So, big deal there. 2 points. Where are you? When in doubt, doesn't only cost 2 points to equip Drifting Contact. Plop. Okay. Let's switch off. Actually, we can keep Caliban for now. Like, he's not hurting me as such. And we'll see how these perform. And these look cool. And what I'm most excited about these is we finally have another dual dagger type. So let me show you all the dual daggers in the game. Oh, I forgot that Okinas were dual daggers as well, so I missed them. Right, they are dual daggers. Yes, they are dual daggers. We have Ether Daggers, which, like, nobody has, except for old grognards and old-timers. Have these ever been made available again? Like, are they in the Tenotech lab? I don't know. Fangs, which are crap. Fang Primes, which are less crap. Okina, which are... They are what they are. I didn't remember that they existed, which is, you know, usually... Dual Dag, which is usually a bad sign. So these which have good crit. These which have less good crit. These which have, like, where's the... I think the base damage on these is probably 21, 63, 85 versus... These are crap. The Okina has kind of a bad base damage arrangement. Ether Daggers, which have good base damage, but kind of everything else. I mean, really low crit. You can't crit with them, but they do status alright, I guess. Fangs, which are also really bad in the crit department. Fangs are just terrible. Like, just so bad. The Fang Primes, which are better in every way. The Okina, which have, like, a different damage arrangement. $108, $78, $140, $224, and then we have these, which do $261, so they have the best base damage of any daggers. Which is nice. They have fairly good stats all around. They're good status weapons. Unfortunately, dual daggers have basically been left to die in the dust. They have been, up until now, a completely forgotten weapon type, and I'm super glad that they remembered they exist. End of story. That's where I'm going with this. I'm glad somebody remembered. Okay, so what I want to do, this may be a bad idea, is I want to do a junction. And I've got like 4 junctions to do, I think. They're quite a lot. They're worth quite a lot. I don't want to clear out Uranus. Let's do Lua, even though there's like some really, really bad times in Lua. Like survival. Survival's workable. There are ways I can get through survival by being cheesy. I'll do it. The one I really don't want to do is Spy. Not a big fan of Lua Spy. I know basically how to do most of the, I don't know half the shortcuts. I know how to do the Spy vaults for Lua. I do not like them. So, stances, or combos. There's this, which looks cool. There's this, which is like me going like... It's kind of chunky. So, our fancy stance, though, our fancy attack... This is like the least worst. How many does that shoot out? That shoots out like 5 projectiles. That's really good. This isn't horrible to use. Man, these are like the shining exemplar. The whip is also okay because it shoots a projectile. But it's clunky. This is less clunky, but you're pretty stationary doing it. I'll see how those fireballs do when I actually find enemies to shoot it at. Shoot it at. We gonna kill us some baddish. We gonna get
Life
thwicked.
support has been cut off. They're trying to choke you out. Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary life support.
I breathe on you. It's doing all my status types. That's cool. See all those, See all those toxin procs, bro? And it looks like it's going through enemies to boot, which is very cool. I'm taking giga damage here. It hurts. I breathe on you hard. And you die. This is actually putting in work. I like this weapon. I might have a new favorite against Corvus if I keep it. Well, okay. no. Yeah, say goodbye to your shield, friend.
Life support on the way.
Yeah, I don't need your shields anymore. Get rid of them. I don't want you to have shields any longer. They do not please me.
I delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will
As you
bind
can
in
see,
no time.
Corpus are in no trouble when I'm doing, like, no damage to them whatsoever. It's good feeling. Hey, don't turn that on. Do you appreciate it? Okay, I'm getting hurt, but I'm getting stop it. Range focus build or something. Oh no! Oh! I suspected this was possible.
I shall do penance through slaughter.
Who are you? Go away.
Hang on. Prepare for life support.
Do not lose all your shields. What's that all about?
I've delivered another life support capsule. Second warning.
Oh shit, of course I'm getting a phone call. Give me a minute.
Life support has been replenished. We're running out of time. Get ready for a capsule. Oculists, if they scan you, sentient fighters won't be far behind. Life support activated.
The work is done. The spoils are yours. I deserve nothing.
Additional life support has arrived. Life support has been replenished. Our operative is making progress. This will help our cause. Extraction is available if you need it. Life support incoming. You are running out of time. Consider extraction. life support capsule is now available.
Yo, Kazan, thanks for tuning in. Not a whole lot, just getting bullied in Steel Path. Which is like hard mode, where enemies are all very high level and they have like double the health and damage. They're pretty rude. And using some new weapons and frames. So not a whole heck of a lot. Also getting garbage telemarketer calls, because what are do not call lists anyway, am I right? Seems to get worse this time of year, but it might just be me. So right now we're using Caliban, who's kind of cool, but also kind of like, I don't know. I like him, but not as much as I like other frames. He's got cool abilities. He gets rid of enemy armor and shields with a big cool death ray. He summons fun goons that do fun goon things, and regenerate your shields, which is really good. He's got a thing that makes it so that enemies take a bit more extra damage, and they float in the air a bit. He can be like, when you get down here, you'll float too, and then he spins to loose, spin to loose. Absolutely does not do anything for me as an ability, sadly. But we have other cool weapons. This I'm going to change my mod loadout on, because I'm pretty sure Condition Overload is going to do me more favors here than some other mods. Just have to find a way to fit it on. I should have thought of that when I saw its high innate status chance, in truth. I also need to see how Primed Reach affects the fireballs that this thing shoots out. It's a cool melee weapon that you get from some of the new stuff in Warframe, one of the new missions. It's a dagger that changes one of the... normally this weapon will do the True Kiss combo, which is actually quite strong on its own, but now it turns into a thing where I do a bunch of fireball shots out of the weapons, which is pretty cool. Pretty handy. But how are you, Kazan? That's the real question. Enough about me.
Is a riot.
I want that. I could just put it in here. I can't just put it there. There we go. I think that'll work a little better. It reduces my base damage a lot, but I'll go up dramatically per status effect, and I've got a bunch of status I'm going to be dealing, so we'll go with that. I can actually switch to Drifting Contact. Stronger Drifting Contact. Which gives me more status chance, which is good.
Excellent.
So we'll see how this goes.
Covered in blood. Safe and sound.
Lua. You're a spy. Mob Def I'm worried about. If I had... I'm gonna make it so I don't worry about it. Limbo, 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 hey! We can go with small bubble. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I can do more duration. Oh, yes. Because right now it's at 91 seconds, but we can do better than that. Duration. We can put on Nira's Hatred and have more duration. We can have a true giggle festival this day. I only have 3 points free. Ugh. You I can get rid of, but I don't have another view on there. Casting speed's nice, but not essential. Get rid of you. Who do I want? Yeah, Caliban is new. Like, he only came out in the last month. On this laptop doing documentation, yeah. I hear ya. Yeah, he's new. I'll show him off. First I'm gonna, real quick. How do I fit this on here? I'm gonna have to get rid of a mod. I can get rid of a mold intensify. I don't need strength. I remember when Rift Surge was good. It's okay. I do want Cataclysmic Continuum for maximum duration. And I do want that, so I can get rid of you, and I'm going to put on duration. I literally just did a search for this. I'm going to put you there. Put a V polarity. V polarity mods. What do I got? That won't hurt me much. No. I can do you. That doesn't hurt. Yeah, I'll just put that there, yeah. Casting speed's okay, but not essential here. Actually, I can put that on too. I like this build better already. So yeah, Caliban is new. Right now I have Limbo Prime. I actually have to change his appearance. Let me tweak you. Sigil. It's from Sigil. I need that to be Loka. Because I've switched since the last time I played him. Which syndicates I'm going for, so I'll show off Caliban. This is Steel Path, so I'm probably going to die in the showing. But what makes Caliban kind of cool is there's a mod that exists called Adaptation, which you have to do a special game mode in order to get a hold of. But it's very, very strong. Every time you take damage, you build up plus 10% damage resistance to that damage type for 20 seconds, and that caps out at 90%. So, like, if you're fighting enemies that do, like, multiple small hits of given damage types, usually they're physical, this will allow you to resist that very quickly. Caliban has this built in, this frame. So anytime I'm taking damage, I'm taking less of it, the more of that damage I take. Capping out at some amount. What I also have are abilities, Spin to Lose, Razor Gyre, where you spin in a circle and presumably regenerate health, but you don't have a lot of health. He's got very high shields. Right now I have it spec'd into high shields. He's got an ability that boosts damage to enemies and crowd controls them a bit. I'll be using that a lot. He's got an ability that makes summons, which makes, enemies will attack them instead. Oh, the wings are actually just in the background. Like, they're not attached to me. I put them there to look fabulous every time. Because there's a poster of a in-game non-character, and they've got wings. However, there are wings. Attachments. Ephemera. These wings, which they'll have for Valentine's Day, I believe. Nice angelic wings. And there's another one that they did for Halloween this year. Where are you? More demonic wings. Which ones did I have on Limbo? Oh, yes. These are the Halloween wings. I forgot I put them on him. I totally forgot. So these are the Halloween wings. And they are pretty cool. My only problem with the wing ephemeras that they've released is they tend to get in the way of the camera in inconvenient moments. They fade away when you zoom in. They're very good about that. But, like, it takes, like, a fraction of a second for that to happen, so sometimes I'm a little disoriented. So I'll show off Caliban and what he can get up to. I'm gonna do it on mobile defense, which might be a mistake. It's why I was kidding out Limbo. If I do fail this, it's not a big deal. I'll switch to Limbo and it'll be the easiest thing in the world. Because Limbo makes a mockery of defense objective missions. He like looks at defense objective missions and laughs very loudly. And for extended periods of time that make people very uncomfortable to be around him, and I don't blame him. Limbo's a weird dude, but he's very good at what he does. I breathe on you, blurg. Okay, we can do better than that. What?
I need access to a terminal. Find one and patch me in.
Okay, so this is where things get complicated.
Upload me and prepare to defend.
I need friends. Friends, friends, friends. So they... I died.
This will take a moment.
Okay.
Oculists, if they scare me, sentient fighters won't be far behind.
So right now my goal is to keep this object from getting killed, and that's going to be a little tricky. Because I can't easily kill these enemies. Because they're very durable. Due to their level, which is in the 120s, and the fact that they've got a pretty massive multiplier wide. Oh no, sentience showed up. Okay, this is not a problem. I've got this. I don't got this. I don't got this at all. Please hit him. These guys are not affected by a lot of things, so I've got to get kind of creative. And, you know, just die as operator, it's no big deal. Wow, that is doing nothing! Oh boy, I've got a problem! That I'm not entirely certain how I'm going to resolve. Because they're not going to go away on their own. So, spin to lose, or die. I don't have a pistol because I chose not to equip it like a goon. Please be dying now. Thank you. Or, you know, I'll just die. Sentient on steel path are enemies. Sentient enemies are... Yeah, died. That's fine. Oh, that's it. They're all gone. We can resume our mission. Or, you know, fail. Okay. So plan B is we're going to bring Limbo along and just giggle. We're in a perilous spot with Limbo because he's very fragile. But we don't have to be worried. Limbo. Right. Upgrad. And says the duration and range. Can I fit? I need you. I don't need you, but I don't have other view polarity mods. Crap. It's not maxed range. It's close. We'll try the small bubble. With as much duration, what is that? 96 seconds plus 1 second for every enemy kill, which is nutty. So I'm gonna give this a whirl. Keen strike for better melee. I'm gonna bring the paracesis along in case. No, I'm not gonna bring the paracesis along in case I don't need it. I do need these to be better. Depolarity, I'll get that later. Okay. So, with this, I will not have to worry about the pod getting killed. I do have to worry about other things. Like me getting killed. So we're gonna give this a whirl. Or rather, I'm not a coward, and that's the problem.
Hey, how's it go?
Oh wow, that didn't kill him. Okay, okay. I'm just gonna run. Peace. He's been real.
Terminal spotted. Upload me and prepare
Okay,
to defend.
so 4,
I need
we press
access to the
2,
terminal.
and basically just walk away from the pod.
Patch me in.
I'm gonna have to cast 1 on enemies in order to bring them into the rift, but really, I don't care too much. Oh, I didn't put the data mass in because I dropped it. I have a big grid. I can't do it until I do that. There we go. Okay, we're fine. Crisis averted.
This will take a moment.
So I'm invincible right now. As is the pod.
Oculists, if they scan you, sentient fighters won't be far behind.
I do not want to be scanned, so I'm just gonna sit over here for a while. Oh, shoot, it's not paused. There we go. Time is frozen. We're all good. We're all good. I didn't see it run out.
Still working on it.
So we're gonna just play this mission like a coward. We don't care. We have no pride. I can't activate my what's that?
Area completed. Move on.
Hey, how's it going? Pretty good?
Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore all these guys. You know. This is being about as cheesy as it is possible to be in Warframe, other than playing Octavia, which is the cheesiest you could possibly be in Warframe. Octavia and Limbo are like tied for
Get me in and get ready to
obnoxiously
defend.
broken frames.
I'm in, Tenno. This will take a moment.
At their given roles, at any rate. Alright, so yeah, we're just gonna like hang out. They can shoot at me if they want. So the real problem here...
You are a waste and must be erased.
Oh, that's not a problem. We're okay. He just tried to take my weapon from me, and that did not work for him.
Headed your way.
So all these guys shooting at me can do nothing. The only thing I have to keep an eye on
Still working on it. Continue to defend.
is the time freeze. Because it's about to run out. It's active again. So. This thing will remain completely invincible for that duration. Don't do that. Every time I go into the bubble, bleh, every time I go into the bubble,
Terminal hack.
I lose my invulnerability, and I do not want that. So, my difficulty here is that when I come out, everything's shooting at me. That's bad. But we can survive. We have abilities that will allow us to do this. Except I hit the enemies with them. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm going to activate my 2. I want to hit my 4 like so. And now everything in this bubble is mine to do with as I will. We will deal with them slowly but surely. that is. Oh no, it's this thing. Okay, I don't know how to deal with this as Limbo, so I'm not going to. I'm going to pick up this Gizmo real quick. Gizmo, thank you. Shit. Shit. I have to switch my move. I picked it up and I didn't realize it. Okay, we're fine. Crisis averted. So that's a little special extra task that I think grants... Oh jeez, I don't actually remember which one it grants. Oh, there are two of them? Ick. I want to get them both done, but I can't. I can deal with it after this. It's okay. Alright. So that's protected. We're going to ignore all these things. They're little puzzle mini-events that are on the Moon tile set. That can award you some special little dual stat mods for Warframes that are pretty handy. Yeah, keep shooting at me. What am I gonna? What are you gonna do? Nothing. Yeah, you better run. Yeah. Run away. They can do nothing to me. I'm doing this to prove a point. Not sure what the point is, other than Limbo is very strong, and you should respect Limbo if he's scary. I would know how to deal with all of these situations if I had the large rage bubble, but I don't. So we'll just, we don't care. Reactivate, and, yeah, I'm just gonna dance. Also boast a little. Okay, so this is a bit complicated. I'm not sure. Well, I could deal with this with the operator. That's no problem. But it's much harder to do solo than it is with a group. Because there's a bunch of things you have to shoot, I believe. Let me try getting back to here and see if I can do this. Let me see. Because what I have to do is a glowing bubble thing. That thing. It needs to shoot this. So it's going to charge up and shoot. I want it to run away in a different time frame there. So it needs to shoot those. It's going to cast abilities that I don't care about. So this glowing blue aura, it needs to shoot at to stop. Once it does that, this hole in the floor open. On all four of these, the floor will open. Wow, I'm taking damage from something. That's a little frightening. Once I do it to all four pillars... Stop shooting me. Okay, it's trying to do the big suction attack, but I'm stuck against this column, so it didn't affect me. I felt it happening, but I didn't... There we go. So these purple things that it lays down apparently do affect me through Void's Rift ability, which I activate on myself by doing a roll. I put in air quotes. There we go. And that did it. I think. Where'd it go? There we go. It opens up, there's this little rift into time and space, which I hop into, which puts me in this little vault thing, which has a mod in it. Cunning Drift in this case, which is actually pretty good. I use that on a bunch of frames that I want to have very high range on. It provides slide distance, as well as, what's it called? As well as ability range, which is quite handy. So for this, there's things I need to shoot. Oh, crap. I think. Or do I wait it out? I don't remember now. used to be you waited it out, but I think you have to shoot all these lasers generator things, but I don't remember now. It's been a long time. Can I actually plop the limbo bubble on this to save me some grief? I don't know. I know I have to keep pressing this down. Whatever, I'll plop down an energy pad. So I'm just going to sit here, regenerating my energy every now and again. We should be okay. And this, I think, gives the endurance mod, which gives me some extra power duration. Or no, is it energy total? I don't remember now. It's been a while. I don't remember what this one gives. We'll find out. So you basically sit on this pad. I'm basically cheating by playing as the operator to do this. Oh, okay. We'll have that well in time. That's fine. There we go. Boom.
Bye!
And now we have another one. Which one is it? So there's a bunch of different ones. Basically, every one of these alcoves is associated with a test and a specific mod. Endurance Drift. I was right about that one. It provides energy max and it gives you better parkour velocity. So every time you like bounce off a wall, you move faster, basically. They're not large buffs. If you usually you don't need the additional energy that it provides if you've got like the flow mod or primed flow. But it's a little extra, and if you can fit it on, because it does go into the little auxiliary Exilus slots that Warframes can have. There's some use and viability you can have there, utility you can have there. But getting 2 in one mission is pretty nutty. That doesn't happen super often. That's relatively rare. So we got through that reasonably well, if cheesily. It just takes a long time. I hadn't done it in a while, and I hadn't done it solo in a longer time. But yeah, the operator makes it pretty cheesy. 400... What was that? Last mission results. 400%... 406% accuracy. Yes, I was very accurate. Shotguns. It is a perk. Alright, I'll switch back to Caliban because, like, I have normal missions now I can do. Caliban, where are you? Caliban. We'll stick with this shieldy build, because it gives me some survivability. And I'll show off his abilities, hopefully in a more controlled fashion. What's Stoffler got? It's a defense. Really wanting to pull out Limbo again. Here's a spy mission. I am probably going to flub this. Correction, I'm definitely going to flub that. I'm going to switch to... Actually, cloaking doesn't matter so much, does it? Not really. There's some sections where cloaking's advantageous. Mostly it's about moving through things quickly, so I'm going to grab... what would otherwise be considered an unusual choice in the form of Titania. I'm still going to have to do parkour, though. There are parkour things I have to do, and I can't remember all the secret routes. I'm not going to... Wow, I didn't like that. Static, what was that? Let's go Octavia, just because I know what I'm doing. With Octavia, I know where I stand. I have my duration build, right? Right. We're durationing. Oh, and I do need a pistol for this, actually. pistol that shoots. These probably will do it, because I am going to have to do some spraying and praying. I need to change some mods on here real quick. You... No. You... Galvanized shot instead of some other thing. I do want you, I do want you. This does have status chance, right? Yeah, it's okay. Heat viral magnetic is pretty nutty for Corpus. What can I put you on? Because I do want these other things on there. Actually, crit. Creeping Bullseye's a little better for that, isn't it? It sure is. Put you on there. That really isn't much of an improvement, is it? Wow. Nope. We're not doing that. I'll leave Galvanized Diffusion for now. I would really like to get Galvanized Shot on, but I can't easily do that without derailing my entire elemental loadout here. I could get rid of Hornet Strike, but that's damage, and quite a bit of it, and I would kind of like to keep that. This does grant more damage. This can grant, what, 3 times 40? Yeah, it won't be as much. I'll keep that for now. Okay. We'll be fine. Yes, I have the local one on. Very good. Okay, so spy mission. Oh, my problem is there are 2 specific ones, I think. 2 specific spy vaults in the Moon or Lua spy missions that have a shortcut that I cannot remember. And that's what's going to get me. And if you get spotted or set off any of the alarms, which is comically easy to do, you have a problem. It is a scrub. You're done. I am now cloaked for 48 seconds. These guys don't care about that, as you can see. That actually did work. I can't wait till I can put more mods on my Kuva Heck. Oh, so this is another one of these sneaky rooms. One of these special task rooms. You get through these by basically avoiding absolutely everything. Is it down below? It's down below. Shoot. Oh, it still gets deactivated if enemies are detected. Well, I didn't remember that. So I have to stand on that. Okay, well, I messed that up. That's okay. Where's A? It's up there. Okay, very good. Let's get up there. So those laser things you don't want to hit. And I forgot about it. I forgot enemies could set them off too.
You're nearing the console. Trigger the
Alright, so this is a puzzle involving going through these things,
The moon setting exit
avoiding lasers,
unforeseen
avoiding certain enemies,
on the lookout for
killing certain enemies,
disturbances.
and mostly just solving a kind of confusing, quote, time travel puzzle, unquote. So these are enemies I'll have to kill. I think there's a way to bypass some of that, but I don't remember how offhand. That's the console. I can't get to it. Yet. I'm gonna go invisible. Okay. Right. This, I think, is the go around latching onto platforms and shooting them puzzle. This one kind of sucks. Is there a way around this one? I want to say there is, but I couldn't tell you how to do it. There might be a way to actually use Nova's wormhole to teleport through that, but I don't know how offhand. real quick. See if there is another one of those portals around here that I don't remember. So there are going to be these things that are going to show up on the other side, and I'm going to have to latch onto them and shoot a thing. It's just as annoying as it sounds. Yeah, there is not one of the teleporter things, so I do have to actually go through this one. So I can shoot that. No, okay. And if you hit lasers, when in doubt, if you hit lasers, you're failing. That's bad. Okay. I need more energy. Let's do that. Pop. And if you hit the ground, you ruse. Okay, that went well. Alright. So there's that thing. We want to avoid that. And you have to, like, go around hopping between these, hitting buttons. I don't want to do that. I'm confident there's a way to get around that. But Fraggoth does not remember how it is done, so it is going to be a bit of a working out while we figure out how that is done. Ooh! Scary lasers. Actually, wait, that's a thing I can stand on, I think. Not a laser. Okay, so that's not open.
This console has been severely damaged. You can't get anything out of it in this state.
Ah, there it is. I knew there was another path. I just don't remember how to get around things here. There we go. Now I just have to activate you. And we're good. Okay. Easy, 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 and rotate. Whoo! Okay. That's the one I kind of remembered how to do. There's another one. Oh yeah, and then there's these guys. Hi guys. How are you? I don't have to worry about those guys, clearly. There's that thing. There it is. No? Okay, how do I get out of here? Yeah, so ordinarily, one of the intended, in quotes, ways to do it is you hop, 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 hop. Oop, I don't want to set it off. You hop to blue, 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 and then you shoot the button. Then you have to do another cycle, hop, 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 shooting another button, which is on the opposite side. And then you have to circle all the way around to here, go through here. You land on this platform. These guys are like, oh, it's beast mode time. Let's go beat them up. Then you shoot them to death, and you move on. You go through here, and you go into there. Bop, 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 you're done. Instead, I have to figure out how to actually get to the right timeline, which must be over here somewhere. Where are you? Ah, over here. Very good. So it's a time travel puzzle, like I said. Again, in very heavy air quotes. Oh yeah, I don't want to actually interact with one of these if I can avoid it. There we go. Okay. So now we go to puzzles B and C. There is another one. Which is it? It is the one that has you shooting... What are you shooting at? No, Corpus Enemies, no worries then. There's like a Simon Says puzzle that you have to get right on one of these, and there's a way to circumvent that, and I don't remember how to do it. There's a path you can take to avoid it. There we go.
The target console is nearby.
This might not be
The enemy
it.
will start destroying data.
So when in doubt, if you see lasers, avoid them. Which one is this? Used to be I recognized these on sight. It has been a while. Okay, so I need to get to that console there in a different timeline. If I shoot you, what happens? Nothing happens. Okay, very good. Because some of these laser plates are destructible, like that one.
This console has been severely damaged.
Yeah.
You can't get anything out of it in this state.
So I'm looking for one of the time portals, which are those blue-gray thingamajorbs that are glowing. Can I fall through this safely? Probably not. Where are you? There you are. Okay. I don't remember how to do this one, and I'm sort of ashamed about it. I'm a bit ashamed that I don't remember, really. Because any of these lasers that I hit will set off all the alarms, and I won't be able to do anything. Okay. Can I get through there? No, that is invisible wall territory. Very good. Okay.
Alarms. Data destruction is
Okay, so I hit the laser, which, you know, smart. The one thing I wasn't supposed to do, I had done. And I do not remember how to get to where I need to be. So this one's a scrub. I ruined it. Where are you? Do I have to go through another one? Yes. Where are you? Ah, it's this one. Okay. It's too bad, because this one's actually the easy one to do it in the intended route. Because I muffed it, we can't.
It's terrible. We've lost this data. You will need to be more careful with the next
So there's
one.
all this ice. Now there's another portal-y thing there. And we go up here. We land on that platform. I'll show how to get through the intended route. There's an unintended route. This is the one I don't remember how to do. One of the ones I don't remember how to do the unintended route for. Is it through here? Might be through here. Oh my gosh, stop. There we go. As you can see, there are many lasers. Let me get back to the intended route, which I think is through this. Yeah? Maybe? Yeah. Okay, I didn't want to do that. So, yeah, you ignore the thing that I just went through, and then you hack the console and you're done. That's the intended route, I believe. So, we messed that up. It's okay. We're not going to cry. Why do I have to hack this again?
The target console is nearby.
What?
If you trigger the alarms now, the enemy will start destroying
What?
data.
I am confused now. I'm gonna just head to C. Because it's acting like I'm activating that for the first time, and I don't want to test my luck. Part of my problem is that I haven't done these in a very long time. Part of it's that I was never good at them to begin with. Regular spy vaults, I can do. The ones in Lua require an actual skill set and mechanical talent, which I forget that I need to have. Also remembering what the puzzle is. Okay. This is the one with the Simon Says room, and I do not remember how to do the alternate route for Simon Says to avoid the Simon Says. Not Simon Says, Simon route. Where are you? Of course, I don't remember the first place I have to go here. What are these is destructible. There you are. Yay, free auto hacks. Cool.
Trigger the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data.
Okay. So intended route is through there. One of these things you can break, which affects alt timeline stuff. So let me go and find the... No, that's the wrong void rift. Where are you? Ignore the strobing rings on the ground. That's from my ability that lets me cloak and be very, very cheesy, which I am very much doing. How is it done? I don't remember. There is one of these other things floating around. I just have to find where it is. Okay, fine. What about this? Why not? I thought it was through here. Obviously not. Okay. So I don't remember now. That's good. It's one of these columns has the switch on it. No? Oh, it's through. Oh, I don't remember this one at all. Alright, crap. Okay, we're gonna wait. Oh. Where are you? Okay. So the problem, though, is the Simon Says portion, which is coming up. Shoot, please. Nothing? Okay. Why did this not open? There's something here I'm forgetting and I don't remember what it is, and that's the problem. Among all the other problems, like me not remembering how any of this works. Oh, this is why I don't do these. Okay, there's one I have to go through. You have to go through it in a specific port position, through one of the doors. I get the feeling I'm going the wrong way, though. I believe it has to be on this side. Yeah. Yeah, this is it. I do not like this one. There's a way to bypass this, and I cannot remember how it is done. And that's what has me frustrated. So, to do this one, it's really annoying. They're going to give you a pattern, and you have to hop between the platforms to get the right one. And it gets more and more involved. Oh yeah, you freak me. Every time you try to do it and get it horribly wrong. However, there is a route through here. My problem is... Damn it. That's not what I wanted to do. It's not what I wanted to do. Shit. Now I don't know where I am. Shit. Crap. I just shot myself in the foot, didn't I? kicking myself. Kicking. Okay, here's the teleport. We're in here again. We're gonna try... Where was it? Here? Was it this? Yeah, it was this. Okay, I don't want to hit that. I do care about this, but it's not available right now.
Alarm has been triggered. You need to retrieve that data before the data destruction is complete.
Shit. Shit. Where's the thing? There's supposed to be a thing. Button, perchance. Shit. Alright, so I muffed this because I don't remember how this one works at all. Good. Again, all of these have shortcuts, and I can't remember any of them because I have a tiny brain, and it's been actual years since I did one. Which is not helpful, I realize. Is there a switch on one of these? Sometimes they do have switches. Nope, none of those have switches. Good! Then I am trapped in this room. How do I get out? Cycle timelines.
The data we retrieved will have to
Whatever.
splice. Get to extraction.
That was horrible. If I could remember how it was done, this wouldn't be an issue. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry, I missed questions because I was concentrating too hard on this. Kazong asks, so who would you say is the most versatile frame? Like, could be used for most content, if not all? Probably Octavia. You'd have a really hard time finding a frame that does absolutely everything, as well as Octavia does. The one thing she doesn't do is restore health. She does a little energy restoration. But not much. She provides buffs to the team. They're not huge, but they're there. Where are you? Where's the exit? I am so lost. This is why I don't do these. 'Cause I just don't remember how they work half the time. Okay. Octavia, it's very hard to go wrong with Octavia. She's got... Okay, I can't get there here. She's got damage dealing ability that scales infinitely. It scales with your enemies. So if I throw down my 1, it creates this orb, which enemies are attracted to and go, "Arg! Grug like club! Grug smash!" And they shoot at the orb. And that makes it so that the orb does damage to them, and it hurts a lot. All the damage they pour into it is dealt back to them. And all the enemies that walk into that glowing ring here are damaged. If you use your 4, the radius increases like roughly double the size. If you use 3, it's more attractive and you have all your buffs, which I'm getting by. So you press 3, if you mash crouch, if you have the right song equipped, you will go cloaked. If you jump a lot at the right rhythm, you'll get a speed boost. If you shoot in the right timing, you will get a multi-shot boost. And I'm not doing it right. There we go. If you melee at the right timing, you'll get a melee damage boost. It's pretty good, and that applies to your entire team. She can also throw out her... Okay, if I have energy. She can also throw out her 2, which provides a roller, which will pick up the orb and drive it around. Her 2 is kind of... It does have very, very strong aggro, and the enemies will all chase it around, but that tends to mean that they're not shooting the orb as much because they're busy chasing it. So I like the more stationary one. If you have to use Helminth to replace an ability, I'd probably say replace her 2, and then just use her kind of defensively. because she can kill entire rooms with that. Mostly you're doing it for having incredibly long cloak duration, for very little energy expenditure. Like Loki, I think caps out at 30 seconds of cloak. I want to say. Let me look. Of the cloaking frames, Ivara can be in it for the longest consecutive stretch without hitting another button, provided you behave appropriately in cloak. So for... Yeah, let me get Loki up here. Loki. We'll go with Loki Prime, because why not? I have a duration build here somewhere. Duration. It's not maxed, but it's close enough. 36 seconds. So with an extra 15% duration from Nira's Hatred, which is another new mod. Let's replace, I don't know, Streamline? Flow. Why not? You're looking at, what? 38 seconds. 38 seconds of consecutive cloak, which is fine. Let's go check. Ash. Ash is embarrassing how short his cloak is. His cloak is bad. Where's my duration build? I have one. Here we go. Duration. His duration caps out at... what do I get rid of here? 25.6 seconds. Ash is... Oh no, Ash is very strong. Ash hits like a truck. But his cloak duration is pretty embarrassing. For if you want to frame that as pure cloak based. Ivara lasts as long as your energy lasts, which is very, very, very long. However, Octavia...
All systems nominal. You don't need to thank me.
All Octavia requires... So at max duration, you've got... So... This takes a little dissecting. So when you hit the button to activate Octavia's 3, there's the rings under you. Now, those are tied to the song you have playing. Right now I've got one that's extremely obnoxious, but I have muted because otherwise you'd go horribly insane. Where is that? Is that under upgrade?
Excellent armaments, operator.
Where do they put that now? Oh, it's under appearance. Hello.
Safe and sound.
Somewhere. Where are you? What's the stupid thing called? If I could remember what the stupid thing was called. It's the Rhythm Maker. Where are you? My problem is that I set it and forget it, and that is not helping me here. Is it under abilities and I'm just blind and I can't see it? No. Where is it? This is mortifying. Where's the Mandicord? Huh? Is it under attachments? No. Is it under Cyandana? No. Sigils? Definitely not. No. Where did they put the Mandicord? I'm blind. It's here somewhere. Did they move it to its own section and I'm going to feel like a real goon? Oh, it's right there. I'm blind. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to turn off the mute, and I apologize for all the ear bleed this is going to engender. You probably can't even hear that, because I have it set really quiet anyway. So what I have here, the practical upshot, is I've got a note, a percussion, a bass, and a melody happening on every single possible bar that is available. This means that basically anytime anytime you're tapping, you're getting stuff done with your 3. Where are you? I can load a song. This I call Helix because it looks vaguely helical. So I'm going to load a song. So that's what that looks like. So long as you're hitting on the beat, you'll be getting buff stuff, progress towards buff stuff. The fewer notes you have, the more you generally get per time you hit it correctly, but you lose more every time you miss. Although I think you lose less than you gain. Let me load songs here. I think, no. Okay, here we go. Helix Silent. I just have it quiet so you don't go crazy. So that is always, something is always happening. So in order to cloak, no, do not save. In order to cloak, you basically hit your 3. Let me go to my actual upgrade screen. You hit your 3 and you mash crouch and you will cloak pretty quickly. Now, the initial activation of your 3 will last 64.2 seconds at absolute max 321% duration, which I don't expect you to have. I don't expect anyone to do because it's not all that practical. You're better served by having more strength and other stuff. However, once you mash crouch, you have 48.15 seconds of that buff from the moment you mash crouch, which you can do probably like 3 to 5 seconds in. So that's 48.15 seconds. Now, okay, that's still a lot better than Loki can ever get to at maxed duration, like double what Ash can do at maxed duration. However, you can also do that at any time during your 3 being active, and if you do it right towards the end as well, which you should, because you can refresh the buff anytime during that duration, you have another 48 seconds. So you activate it like within 3 seconds, so you're looking at 40, let's see, 45 plus the entire time it's there. So 64 less, yeah, call it 60 seconds plus another 45. You basically have 90 seconds of uptime for Cloak if you get your timing even remotely right, which is very easy to do. It's pretty nutty. Plus you've got the multi-shot movement speed, which is and melee damage buffs that will kick in so long as you're doing any of those actions during your 3's activity. Your 1 is very strong in defensive situations. It can be okay if you use it cagely for offense. Her 4 does a big damage boost depending on how much noise is going on. Armor Shred is very strong. Ash does have that going for him, but his powers will never fully scale. They will never scale infinitely. Eventually there's going to be a wall. Whereas the wall never exists with Octavia because enemy damage will keep going up and you just keep your maul out and you giggle as they do more damage to themselves. Ash is good. I like Ash, but Octavia does it all. And never stops being relevant and cannot help but be relevant. Armor Strip is very good in Steel Path in particular because of all the boosted enemy stats. Other frames I'd recommend for just about any content. Protea's pretty good. She has abilities that do stay moderately relevant forever. For instance, her 2 is surprisingly strong. That thing gives Mesa a run for its money. But she's kind of situational. She's kind of tough to use well. I have a hard time. Who's another one? Oh, Wisp. Wisp. Wisp, 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 Wisp. Wisp. Wisp is superb. Wisp is so easy to use well. Like, she has nothing but stuff going in her favor. So she's got her 1, which is just magnificent. Her 1 generates these motes. And 1 is a vitality mote, 1 is a haste mote, and 1 is a shock mote. Vitality mote provides health and huge health regen. So you want to invest heavily in power strength because it scales with that. Her haste mote provides a speed multiplier and a fire rate multiplier that apply to your melee and gun shooty. It doesn't apply to their reload speed, unfortunately. I wish it did. So you attack faster, and you attack faster. The shock mode makes a forced electric proc on any enemies that go within range of you. It's not all that good. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does stun enemies, which is nice. But mostly you're going to be using the Vitality and Haste modes. They're very strong. Her 2 lets you send a spirit thing that attracts aggro forward, and then you can teleport to it. There are some puzzles that it's useful for. It's good for pulling aggro. It's okay. It's not bad. It serves its purpose. It's not all that... like, pulling the aggro is handy, but you're not going to be using it a ton, I find. Her 3, on the other hand, is extremely strong. Breach Surge. So you generate a this expanding ring that goes around you that will blind enemies for the duration, and when you deal damage to them, they will they take more damage, a lot more damage. This one is taking 7.04 times damage, and they'll send out little wisps out of their head, which will hit other enemies and do damage on their own. Very powerful. Extremely useful crowd control ability, extremely useful for amping up your damage. It's very good. And her 4 is actually not that. That isn't her 4. That's her 4. Soulgate is pretty underwhelming, actually. It shoots a big death ray. That's it. You can hold down your fire button to drain more energy and do more damage, but I personally think you're better served sticking to her 1 and 2 and then replacing her 4. Not necessarily with the ability I'm using here, Empower. That adds another 50% ability strength to your next ability. Doesn't really do much. I'd probably go with Roar or Hysteria. Can you do Roar? I think you could do Roar on her with that. I had a train of thought. I lost it. Wisp is really good. In summary, she will keep you alive. You become very hard to kill. I definitely make sure you have adaptation on, because that makes you even more durable. Other than that, because with this wisp build, I'll have. Let me show this wisp build. Where are you? Do I make sure I've got Loka on? There's a sigil I do. Very good. I don't need these. Let me go with. Why not? We'll do Old Faithful here. Old Faithful. Kuva Nukor. Oh, we didn't ruin. Oh, I don't want to do Disruption. I really don't want to do Disruption. Defense is kind of a tricky deal as well without. Do I even know that? Yeah, I do. I'm not doing Excavation either. Excavation is hard on. Oh, here we go. Capture mission. Easy. Brain dead easy. Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll do. Ooh. We'll just. No, it's a defense? Crap. What are you? You're an extern. We can do that. You're a rescue. How do rescues here work? I don't remember what rescues look like here. We'll find out. So again, Ash is strong. He's fared pretty well of the original frames. He's fared okay, but there is a limit to what he's able to do in Steel Path in particular. His armor stripping from his kunai, which you need a separate mod to get, is good. He's got decent kill power with some power strength and melee damage.
Use all that you have learned.
With his 4, his Blade Storm, as well as the augment for his teleport. That makes it so he does an automatic backstab, which is very powerful. He's good, but I find that being invisible basically permanently and having enemy aggro attraction and all the other stuff that Octavia can do is a little bit better for me, personally. Okay, so I'm hitting my 4, I'm hitting my 1, I'm hitting my tapping my 1, I'm hitting 4 again, holding 1, and I have 80% speed increase, which makes me into a whirling dervish. Thank you. And I have 120 health per second, as well as 1500 health right now. It's kind of good. And pretty fast fire rate. Which doesn't seem to be affecting my Kuva Unicorn. Oh, okay. That's fine. Hey, how's it going? No, don't do that. So a lot of attack speed. I can bring weapons that are even more impressive, but that one's adequate. The buff lasts. I don't actually remember my duration at the moment. Where are you? Oh, it's up here. No? Where are you? Where's the room I was in? Is it this one here? Yeah, here we go. So these things are permanent. You put them down on the ground, they stay where they are. You can have a total of 6 motes out at any given time, which is nice. Oh yeah, and when you're in midair, you see how I'm glowing? I'm, quote, invisible, unquote. Enemies can't see you. Which is handy, but that stops basically once you shoot an enemy and they know you're there. So pros and cons with that. Let's see. So this is a rescue mission. I don't actually remember how Uranus... Where's this Neptune? I don't remember how the water ones do this. I do not remember. So we're going to find out. There is a duration after you walk out of the field that provides you the buff. Let me go and get that and find out what that number is. And you can recast and they'll re-show up. 45 seconds and change. Okay, so somebody hit a button somewhere. I'm going to deactivate that. That isn't doing a lot, is it? Enemies will find it very difficult to one-shot me. That's not ideal.
Watch yourself. Grenier are on the way.
Hi, what's up? Alrighty. Oh jeez, I didn't see what time it was. That's okay. I can keep going a little longer. Oh! Need to get my buffs back. Okay, these are not going to be my full buffs, but that's okay. I don't need them to be full. They are only partial buffs.
You are approaching the holding area.
Okay.
Careful. If the wardens detect you, they will surely initiate the execution sequence.
Hey, what's up? You're not dying. So I'm gonna fix that. Stop.
The captain will be in one of these cells. Search them.
I remember my buffs soon. I need to be a bit cautious. Oh, they're dead. Okay. Oh, this is the one where you deal with water levels. Oh, okay. This one's easy. I'm gonna just try and gank you from behind. How about that? You did. There's another one here somewhere. So I just have to like hack these until they rise from the ground. I am good. I don't care what they say or write about me on the bathroom wall. Hell yes. Freebies. Let's go.
I will not forget this, Tenno.
Hi. I'm opening your egg.
Prisoner located. We need to get them back to command in one piece. Find your way to the
Caffeine
exits,
has its
and
pros
don't
and
leave the subject
cons. I
behind.
tell you what. Alright. I'm going to give you a gun. Get over here. Thank you. Where is this? Oh yeah, there's that. You can like go down and underground and do whatever, but it's easy. This is one where you can just like do it the way it's intended, and it's honestly easier than dorking around doing anything extra. That's not all of them, is it? Where's the other one? Oh, there they are. I might be able to jump in and get it. Let me. So cool things about her 3. You can teleport to your 1. You can teleport over any distance. This is great when you're on an open world tile. Open world tile. I can't talk. Ah, there you are. Okay. Hi. Bye. Warden's dead. You. Still alive. Okay. Fair enough. Wow. What killed them? So... we cut a bit. We're a tiny bit speedy. Blah. Hey, no. Those buffs also apply to our friend here. Shoot. So they are now durable, they are now speedy, and I don't know where the exit is. Okay, I found the exit. We're winning. This is sort of embarrassing. But yeah, Armor Shred is very strong. It's one of the few things that keeps me from saying Caliban is a complete waste of time. Because he has Armor Shred and a damage amplifier, but they're impractical. Oh my gosh. Okay. I died. That's bad. I don't know how they did enough damage to do that, but they did. My flowers are gone, I think. Why are you doing this? There, take it. Did my flower disappear over here, or did it just wipe it out before? Yeah, it did, okay. I was busy trying to spawn a energy tablet, and I forgot that you can't do that over and over in Steel Path. Biggest brainus. Alright, we've got enough juice for this. This should get us through to the end. I'm just going to skip there. Just right over there. I'm a bit mortified. What is happening? Oh, he's killing them. That's fine. Very good. Continue to do that.
They fought well. Good dance.
I didn't do a good job of showing off her 3. Her 3 is like crowd control to the max. It's very, very good. Blind enemies for a long time, if you've got any duration at all. In a pretty good radius, too. Oh yeah, the radius of that actually doubles if you use it by casting it onto your 1. And actually, because I like a good giggle, I'm going to do solo real quick. I'm going to go to Venus. I'm going to go to the Orb Valis. And we're going to show how nutty the teleporting is. With prep time, this is the fastest way to travel. Problem is you have to start at one point, plop a thing down, travel to your end point, and then use it, teleport back to it. So, that's a thing. But we're not going to worry about that. Instead, we're going to hit 2, it's going to fly way up there. 4, 5, 6. We're going to hop up onto here. We're going to hit 5, we're going to get ourselves some juice. We're going to hit 4, we're going to hit Yes, it is. It is the fastest travel time with prep. Because you have to plop a thing down to do it. Okay, so we've plopped a thing. Actually, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do the other thing. Do that. There we go. Okay. Where are we? We're right about in the middle. We're going to travel all the way over here. The second fastest way of traveling is using Razorwing Blitz modded Titania. That is unbelievably fast. That is honestly motion sickness inducing, how fast you move. Okay, now you do have to have line of sight. I am more than a click and a half away. Where do you show up? Oh my gosh. There we go. Boop! We are right back where we started. Let's get one. I should have planted one there. Shoot. Because you can go from one end to the other doing that. Whatever, we'll get one in this corner, and then we'll get one in the far corner there. Okay. Wisp is definitely worth your time. She has other assets as well, but we don't talk about that. We're not that thirsty. We're a little thirsty. We're not that thirsty. Alright. I hear enemies. Where are they? Hi! How are things? Okay, that's enough out of you. Stop that. The cold hurts. Oh my gosh, reload faster. I'm being slowed down by the cold. Don't worry about it. Okay, let me plop here for 1. Tap, tap, 4. 1. And we're going to plant you right about there. And we're going to put in another set. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. I'll have to plant down 4. I do not need the buffs as much as they are. Okay. There is no line of sight. That's a bit of an issue. I don't want to deal with you. I really don't. Okay. Yeah, it's not showing up. Whee! In any rate, if I had clear line of sight, I could do it. But you get the point. You get the idea. Let me plant one on here. Where are you? Is that one there? There's the one. There we go. I don't have energy. Crap. Yeah, up here. So, to confirm, I'm up in reflector control. To confirm, I am now right here. I went from there to there by pressing a button. You have to aim at it, but and yeah, that's about 4,000 meters away. It's pretty far. Pretty far. It's kind of a far distance. So yeah, that's a thing she can do. We are now going to exit this area. I'm going to grab a Razorwing Blitz modified Titania. And my apologies if you have problems with very high speed movement. But you do need to prep, which is the disadvantage there. Equip arsenal. Equip. And what power strength. My power strength is 238, which isn't as high as you can go, strictly speaking. And you can, in fact, get higher. Do I have a pure strength build on here? I do not. Let me get a pure strength build for giggles. I need an aura mod. We will do that. We'll do that. Strength. We want Unroll Intensify. We want Transient Fortitude. We want Blind Rage. We want Arcane Energize. I'd kind of like to... Okay, Amara's Hatred, yes. Power Drift, yes. I'm missing something. Oh yes, Augur Secrets, yes. Put you on here, because this is just pure experimental. Okay, so 352% strength. You can technically get higher if you equip all of the Umbral mods at once, but that only bumps it up by... like 11 to 15%. It's not a lot. I don't consider it worthwhile. What I haven't tried is doing
Get back to work, you muckers.
what's the Helminth, the one that I have on friggin' Wisp. That gives you an extra 50% power strength. So, oh, I need Razorwing Blitz. That's important. Razor. There we go. I've not fiddled with Ironclad Flight, but it just reduces your airborne damage, so it's kind of good. Razorwing Blitz will now provide 88% speed. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Now I have to actually be able to cast it, so I do need to put Prime Flow on to have the energy required. I don't care about range, so I can put you. No, I can't put. Can I put you on now? I can put you on now. There we go. And we have 172 duration. I'd like more efficiency, but we'll be fine. We have 744 energy. All we have to do is hit R1 4 times. All right, this is probably enough. Let me put on. Where's the pistol one? Pistol here. Headshot kill for ammo efficiency. There's another one that I want to get, but I'm not going to worry about it for now. Okay. So, mind you, you can stack this buff with other speed-providing buffs like Volt's speed buff. There's another Wisp's speed buff you can put on top of that, but you need other people to do that. So solo, this is about the fastest you're going to be able to move. I need to get more energy. I'm going to plop down 2 of those. No, I can plop down the 1. Just wait here a minute then. So, ideal universe, I'd get my 2 buffs cast on enemies a bunch of times. But we don't care. Speed 1. So, normal movement speed. Let me get back to the... Did I get all the... Yeah, I did. Okay. This is about as fast as you can move normally without other extra buffs, which is fairly quick. Arcwing is pretty fast. If you include teleport, you can move from point A to point B fairly quickly if you get the teleport timing right, which I just didn't. Bloop. Yeah, do a backflip. K-drive is slow. I don't care for it. But what does go fast, so this is normal speed. You can get the teleport. It's kind of slow. We don't like that. We don't like slow. We like speed. 2, 3, 4. Now we're moving. Alright, so I'm going to go from... I have no idea where I am. I'm right here. Okay, I'm going to go there. It's going to start off slow. How long does that buff last? 352% speed and damage buff. Let's time that. Okay. Mississippi 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi 5, Mississippi 6, Mississippi 7, Mississippi 8, Mississippi 9, about 10 seconds. 10 seconds to go from the furthest corner of the map to the other furthest corner. Please teleport. Please teleport. Wow, okay. So I went too far. I tried so hard and went so far. Whatever. What if that's... I'm stuck. But in the end, it didn't really matter. So that's the second fastest you can go, mostly because you just ignore terrain, much like the teleport does. There we go. But the teleport requires prep. This requires next to zero prep. It's literally get energy whatever way you can. Hop in the air, press 4, press and hold 1 4 times, and you're good. Just meow. And this area is much larger than the Earth open world area, so it's very fast. Now imagine trying to do that indoors, in corridors, with lots of enemies. Okay, so to show off why this is also in... No, that's the wrong button. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 60 rounds for Dex Pixia. I go through that in 1, 2, 3 seconds. It's very quick. You run out of the ammo very fast. But you're a buzzsaw. You're very much, full A10 Warthog territory. Which is why I go with... Yes! There's an Arcane Pistolier, which gives you infinite ammo at max rank for its duration, which is shorter than I thought. It's like 6 seconds? 10 seconds? But you have to get a headshot to initiate. So I have to find an enemy with a head. Whoops. 2, 3, 4. I did not get a headshot kill. Okay, that's frustrating. I'm about to run out of energy. Okay. Whatever. In any case, doing that is good. You want to do that. I have another build, my much more well-rounded build, which will only get me up to a sluggish 66% stacking speed buff, up to like it's like 300%, I think, or to some high number speed buff. But I have a helmet ability that gives me infinite ammo on command, and that also counts towards Razor Wing's Blitz casts while in Razor Wing. Ability casts while in Razor Wing, providing buffs. So you do like 3 of your 1 and then 1 of that, and you're just like, full auto. Giggle time. I prefer that to Mesa, even though Mesa has auto aim, because Mesa can't target certain enemies, whereas Titania doesn't care. You just look at things and shoot at them, and you have a good time. Titania is very strong, but kind of like more in damage. She has buffs that she provides, but half of them are kind of impractical, and half of them you need an enemy to do it. You get Thorns, which is damage return to enemies, which isn't that good because it doesn't provide a defensive buff. You've got Dust, which is very good because it makes it so that enemies only have a 50% less chance to hit you, so that's great. Full Moon, which I don't remember what that does. It says damage, health, and armor. I need to go to the ability screen and find out what that actually means. Give me a sec. Increases companion damage, so that's not very good. And Entangle, which reduces enemy speed. And they're pretty much set values. You cannot reduce them. Or you can't increase them. They do what they do. Dust is definitely your best. Thorns is eh. Entangle is okay. And Full Moon helps your companions. If you've got a companion, i.e. a sentinel or a cat or dog or whatever that is geared around damage, sure, why not? It doesn't hurt. But otherwise, doesn't really do you much good. But you need an enemy, because you have to target an enemy, hit the ability, and then pick up a shadow that they leave behind. It's impractical. It's better now than it used to be. It used to be really bad, but now it's slightly less bad. This is another good prime frame, or another good frame in general. I definitely would push you towards Octavia,
Operator, did
Wisp.
you hear that? It said cosmic
You
background
can't
radiation is a
easily go
riot.
wrong with Rhino, but I would maybe push. Mag is actually very good, but people don't know about that. Mirage is extremely strong, but more damage focused. Limbo is absolutely the very best there is at his niche, but his niche can be considered narrow. I mean, you saw I was invincible for as long as I want to be, forever. You can be invincible forever. Actually hurting enemies, a bit trickier, but doable. You can work around it. People get upset with Limbo, I think, mostly because he has potential. If people don't understand how Limbo works, they can be held back. I hear people say, "Oh no, Limbo's great. It's just Limbo players that are bad," and I'm like, nah. I think even with a quote bad unquote Limbo player, with the exception of not being able to pick up data masses if you're inside the Cataclysm bubble, which is about the most disruptive thing he does now in terms of halting mission progress. He's really like, you can play around anything he does. You just have to understand how his stuff works and be willing to play around him. Wukong. Wukong is also very, very good because he's survivability, the frame. He can die and come back and does not care. He can do that 3 times? 3? Is it 3? Yes, he can do it 3 times. And he comes back from the dead with a buff before he starts taking away from your per mission self-revives, which you can get up to 6 if you have multiple arcanes equipped. The real main thing that makes him dangerous is Celestial Twin. In fact, I'll do a mission as Wukong.
If I may say, operator, your chosen Warframe suits you. Ha ha.
What do I have going on here? Give me a sec. I need duration. Why do I have no duration? What is this? Why do I have this? I don't need duration, actually. That's right. For Celestial Twin, it's just out, and it works. I just want more power strength. Where are you, Amar's Hatred? How do I fit you on? Do I really need efficiency? Not really. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah, Inaros is really cool. He's extremely hard to kill. He's super durable. His abilities are neat in theory, but I think don't work out as well as I'd like in practice. Um, Mostly because like they either don't dispatch enemies quickly enough, they don't keep them from killing you enough, or they're just kind of unwieldy. But he's still very good. Like, if you want a frame that's easy, just so easy to build, you just throw as many health and armor mods on as you can, and you're good. Like, Inaros will not die easily. It takes effort to get him killed. So we'll go with a Mars Hatred here, because I want a little extra ability strength. We don't really need Streamline, do we? No, we don't need Streamline. So that gives us what? You also get a damage multiplier. I think it only ever stays at 2x damage multiplier, but that's okay. And so you make a clone, and what the clone does is if you have a melee weapon out, he'll use whatever ranged weapon you had before you whipped out your melee weapon. If you have a ranged weapon out, he'll use your melee weapon. Melee weapons are very, very strong. Oh, Swiggish says you can damage people with that Water Warframe's Aqua Blades while you are in the Void. Yes, yes you can. So reasons that Limbo is really good, and people I think people who slag Limbo and slag Limbo players don't really see. Usually it's because they don't understand how the power works, not so much that the Limbo player doesn't understand how it works, although there's that too. So any Warframe power works if you get rifted by Limbo. All of them. Exalted weapons. I'm trying to think of an instance where this isn't true. Give me a minute. I'm pretty confident that the Dex Pixia for Titania works. I'm 99% sure Mesa's works. I know Excalibur, Valkyr, and Baruch work. Actually, I'm not 100% on Baruch, but I'm pretty sure he does. Let's see. Any casted abilities will work while you are in the Void, and you are invincible while you are in the Void/Rift from Limbo. He's really good. Like, Limbo is nuts how strong he is. But you have to play around the Limbo. You have to understand that his abilities do certain things for certain amounts of time, and really the only way he's going to be problematic is if you're doing mobile defense and he casts stupid Cataclysm Bubble and you don't remember that you have to turn it off in order to pick the stupid thing up like I did earlier today. Because I forget things. I have a small brain. It's okay. I have short memory when I'm high on coffee, and I have a tiny brain. It gets smoother with caffeine. I don't know. I also have performance anxiety. So Limbo's crazy good. He's so good, but he requires a very certain mentality and mindset to play properly. Mesa is as easy as hitting 2, 3, and 4, and then looking at things and holding down your shoot button. Mirage Prime is as easy as pressing 1 and 3 and shooting at things with stuff that goes boom. Very good. Or hitting them with your stick, because you now have 4 sticks. Nej's pretty good. He's kind of an all-rounder. I actually personally prefer him more than Rhino, but Rhino is hard not to recommend. Rhino's got, he's got Roar. He's got Stomp, which is good crowd control. Roar buffs your damage, not your power damage, but your weapon damage. His 1 is okay. His 2 is Iron Skin, and Iron Skin is bonkers. It just prevents you from taking damage. I would also recommend Revenant if you like having abilities that make you invincible. Because Revenant's 2, Mesmer Skin, will give you charges, which are instances of damage that you just don't take. And you can just re-up it and you get more. Disadvantages. Actually, what makes Mesmer Skin really cool is when they shoot at you and they hit you and take away a charge, they get blinded and staggered and just generally crowd controlled, which is very good. Enemies that hit you with it. But otherwise, you're invincible. This includes you shooting at your feet with an explosive weapon, so that's very handy. His 4 does damage, his 3 is okay, his 1 is good for crowd control because it possesses enemies kind of like Nyx. Revenant's pretty good. He's a little harder to do team play with than Rhino is. Rhino is really easy for team play, so I recommend Rhino. I'd be hard-pressed to find frames that I straight up don't recommend. But I've given you most of my top picks. Yareli, I don't know. I want to like Yareli, but other than just doing lots of damage sometimes against stuff that doesn't have armor, I don't know. She's okay. I need to put more time into her. Zaku is kind of the same thing. He's good, but like there's other frames I personally prefer playing. He can do a lot of damage with his, I think it's his 2, the one that gets a bunch of guns floating around you. Valbin is great for crowd control. I'd take Limbo over him, but Valbin is good. He's different. He's kind of technical now. You have to know what you're doing with Valbin, because he's got a lot of tools that do a lot of different things, and if you don't know what they all do, you're shooting yourself in the foot a little. Valkyr can be situationally invulnerable until she runs out of energy, which is easier to do than you think. Oh, Chroma. Chroma is another good one, who I forget about a lot. So Chroma's pretty nutty. He gets his Fire Breath is terrible. Spectral Stream, it's bad. Sadly, it does have like guaranteed status proc chance, which is good, but what element his powers do and what his powers get up to changes based on the energy color you're using. So anything greenish will get you toxin, anything reddish will get you fire, anything bluish will be electricity, and I think yellow is, or white is cold, I guess, according to this. So that changes based on your cosmetic decisions. What do I have? I think I have red right now. Yeah, I have red for my energy color, or emissive color, I guess it is. Yeah, I thought it was energy. I guess it's emissive instead. That's fine. His 2 provides different buffs based on what element you're using. If you go with heat, you get a health boost as well as some fire damage around you. Electricity, you get more shield capacity, as well as like a electrical damage multiplier thing when they get elect procced. Toxin is your holster and reload speed. That can be quite handy. And cold gives you armor. So they're all pretty good for one reason or another. Toxin seems but there are some situations where having very high reload speed is great. Vex armor. Shield damage, I think, gives you, what, armor? And then health damage is damage, if memory serves. Yeah? Yes. Shields are hit, chroma and nearby allies' armor grows stronger, and health grants weapon damage. So that's very strong. And his 4 acts as a kind of a stationary turret, as well as providing other buffs such as extra credit chance, speed increase to you, and you lose some of your armor. Chroma's pretty good. He looks awesome. I love the way he looks. Chroma Prime and then regular Chroma, which I gave the seahorse head to because it looks neat. I like seahorses. But he's quite good. Good for solo play. Pretty good for team play too. He's a good recommendation for doing. Well, he was. I think he's still relevant for doing Eidolon hunts, which you'd have to pay me to do at this stage. I'm not a fan. I find them quite boring, but they're very doable. Equinox is another one. Lots of different roles Equinox can fill. A lot of them crowd control, provide team buffs, straight up damage dealing. A lot to recommend to Equinox. Farming vanilla Equinox is an exercise in frustration. They take a lot of farming. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 components you need to farm before you can build them, as opposed to the normal 3. It's pretty annoying. A lot of time to get it built. Equinox Prime takes a lot less time, but you need to find the relics that drop their parts. Frost is great. He's like, if you don't have Limbo, Frost is your defense guy. Followed right by Gara, which Gara does also wonderful things for defense as well as buffing your team. Yeah, I like Equinox. I don't play them enough. I think they're a her, sort of. They have a male and a female aspect, but they're kind of a her. Whatever. I don't remember. They. Let's call them they. Equinox is good. They've got the form swap that allows them to access their 2 different power sets, which is great. Their power sets change, so their 2, 3, and 4 are different based on your day or night metamorphosis. You've got a damage vulnerability to enemies buff you can do in day form, as well as a speed increase for you. In night, you put them to sleep. For Pacify and Provoke, what does night do? Oh, reduces enemy damage. I forgot about that entirely. I remembered day gave you power strength, ability strength to you and your allies, which is nutty. Not many frames do that. It's very, very good. Mend and Maim in night. What does it do? What does night form do? Night form regenerates shields for allies, for nearby enemies killed. So if you jump into a crowd, you shoot enemies, your shields go up. In day form, they get a bleed status effect, and then when you turn off in night form, You restore health and shields for yourself and allies, and if you deactivate during day form, you kill everything. Horribly. It is beautiful. She's one of the few, she is one of the few nuker frames that remains viable because her power scales basically forever, provided you can get enemy kills. Octavia's a bit easier because you just plop down your 1 and have a laugh. In fact, I'll show how nutty Octavia gets real quick with her 1. Let me go with a range build. Where's my range? Here's my range build. It doesn't have high duration, but will live. I didn't get any. I'm not missing any. Whoops. Range mods. Am I? No, I am not. I won't do that. Okay. Yeah. So range. And we're going to go with range because it'll increase aggro distance as well as other things. Let's just find a random mission here. Preferably. Where are you? That's disruption. That's hard to do. Disruption hard. We look for easy. We like easy. We're lazy. Oh, here we go. Defense. This is where we will excel just a bit. We'll do Corpus. Do Path. Plop. Oh shoot, I'm doing this solo. Okay, so...
These foes deserve your respect. Honor them with quick deaths.
I'm gonna have energy problems, I can tell already.
Victory.
Oh, hi. Yoink. I'm gonna... So I've gotten cloaked. That's nifty. I have much lower duration than this, so I am going to have serious problems with energy. Please be stationary, please be stationary, please be stationary. Yes! Alrighty, so it is beholden to line of sight, but we've got a lot of energy range, ability range, so we'll be fine. You can't actually see the end of this ability. It's way out there. It's way over there in a big circle around. So any enemies, I think you can see what's going on here. I have no input. They have all the input. Now the problem with this build is it's not super long duration-wise. And I'm going to have difficulty keeping my energy up, but otherwise, and you do have to reset it every time the power goes down. The duration of the ability runs out. But you can get around that with high duration, and that'll keep the damage up. So, I did nothing other than hit 1. Okay, good, I have energy. Excellent. Wow, no, we don't want that. Shoot at that, please, thank you. Stop shooting at that. Thank you. Much better. It's spherical, so all of them, yeah, they're involved. They saw me, so move a little. Ideally, you want like high places that do a good job of covering line of sight. So sight line through there, sight line through there. It misses some of the ones that are up this way. But by and large, they're going to attack that, and you can see the large damage numbers continuously that are occurring as a result. So yeah, you can do this on the fly for exterminate missions. I'd really rather you didn't, friend. Okay, fine. I'll deal with you real quick. Stop! Okay, fine. Be this way. I have an easy way to fix this. Shoot it better. Please. He's having a hard time. He's a special boy. I am rather tired of this individual right now. Okay. 2, 1, 3, 4. so used to deleting ambulances that I didn't remember that you have to like blow parts of its armor.
This is your
Hack it to
canvas. Hack into that disabled ambulance.
There we go. Problem solved. Hooray us. Okay. 1, 3, 4. Yikes, that cryopod took a lot of damage. Just ensure that these guys don't shoot the pod. But as you can see, like, and that, you know, the stronger enemies are, the more damage that does. So it will scale along with absolutely everything else you do. Along with everything else the enemies do, rather. Sorry. So it is relevant for content forever. Where is it? Thank you. I wish they would stop shooting that. You get the cloak damage boost. You get melee boost from your powers. You've got that thing doing constant damage to enemies. Yeah, it's pretty strong. That's right. Sit right on top of the thing. That's clever. You want to do that because that boosts its range a lot. As you can see. Stop shooting that. No. I'm gonna lose the cryopod. That's okay. I'll just leave it wave 5. Is that another ambulance? I think it is. It is. Shit. Yeah. The ambulance put a bunch of energy nets on. In any case, she can normally do that very, very easily, but so I definitely recommend Octavia. She has a prime. Regular Octavia is a little annoying to get a hold of. You have to do a quest and then a couple very specific activities, but I didn't think she was too bad. Octavia Prime is as simple, in quotes, as getting all the necessary relics and farming for the components. Protea is another one I can kind of recommend for a kind of interesting hybrid buffer and damage dealer. She's pretty neat. Should do an Octavia Prime giveaway. Yeah, if I had an Octavia Prime to give away, maybe, you know, which I don't. Since I'd have to farm up the components and then give away all the components, and maybe I have the relics for that. I could give people the relics, I guess. Oh, Gara's a good one too. Gara's interesting. Her 1 is kind of a bog standard melee or a damage ability. It has an interaction with her 4. So her 4 makes this big ring of glass, which can cover enemies in it and make them, you know, fairly easy to damage, as well as providing an actual physical barrier where enemies can't walk through. Her 3 is a aggro ability that makes enemies drop more energy. It's quite good. Her 2 is a defensive buff ability as well as an offensive ability, kind of. It's really good because it's, you know, 90% damage reduction, which is huge damage reduction. And that stacks with things like what's it called, adaptation. So it's pretty beefy. You can put that on your allies. You can put that on yourself. If you cast your 4, you can re-up it, but allies have to be in the area for that to happen. Her 1 can break certainly segments of the shield. I think the whole thing of her 4 it can break, and it explodes and it does damage. I got lazy grinding Kara. Tell me about it. So Gara, for me, suffers. The biggest problem with Gara is that in order to get her, you have to do bounties, and bounties are really tedious. I do not have fun doing bounties. So farming Caliban, I didn't have much fun. it was, it took a long time. Partly because he also requires a new unique resource that you can only get from those same bounties. So on the one hand, oh, you're farming for Caliban, you're getting the resources to build them. On the other hand, you're going to get the Caliban components well before you get the resources to actually build them. And there's other things that require that resource as well, and that's not a lot of fun. Caliban, I think on balance is kind of worth it. I'm still getting used to him, getting used to his flow. I don't hate him, but my impressions of him initially did not change all that much. He's got some okay abilities, including armor strip, which is great. He's got mooks that he can summon, which is great. I love mooks. Having little AI companions is fun. They're dumb as a brick, but you know what? Enemies are shooting them instead of me. It's a win-win. Protea has summons that enemies aren't aggroed by. Here, let's do a quick Protea run. Here's Duration. So Duration is surprisingly good for her strength as well. The main damage dealing ability she has is Blaze Artillery. And so you can see the super short duration there of 9.33 seconds. Which isn't very long. You can summon up to 3 of these at once. It shoots a heat beam, and the heat ray actually chains between enemies. And for every hit it does, it doubles in damage. It gets a 100%, or it's double, but it goes up by 100%. You can get up to, you can get up to a lot. I think I've seen like 29-ish, I think. Quite a lot. And it hits hard, and that's just damage scaling up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And you can plop down 3 of them at once. So if you've got a big durable enemy, you kill them. They die. Her 1 also has a damage dealing ability on it. It makes a field of slash procs. So slash damage is okay. It does like slash damage, I think 720. Yeah, 720 it says per second, based on this build, which only has 144 strength. The real perk, though, is the shield satellites, because they provide a shield buff, as well as shield regen buff. That's quite good. I think I have a power strength build here, right? Yes, I do. But no duration. So only 2 seconds these would be up. So I prefer duration on this, mostly to capitalize on that. Also dispensary, which makes energy orbs, health orbs, and ammo drops. This is excellent for your mesas, for anybody who has channeled powers, because energy orbs work regardless if you're channeling a power, so very good there. Her 4 is really wonky, and I want to like it a lot more than I do. So what her 4 does, let's just show this off. It'll take me less time to show than explain, and I'm going to have to do both. Let's find a mission that I won't fail as obviously and easily. Oh, here, a rescue. Rescues your brain dead. It's impossible to fail a rescue. Oh, geez, and I have to get off in like 2 minutes. So I'm going to make this quick.
Your enemies have grown fierce.
Oh no, I don't have any energy capacity. Okay, so we're going to use our 3. That's dispensary. Health orbs. Yay! Ammo. Yay! Energy. Yeah! You can use Equilibrium, which is a mod that converts health orbs into energy. But to get those health orbs when you do have full health requires another mod. But there are a couple mods that do that. One of which is a companion mod that is quite good. So right now I have the shields on. No, I don't. Now I do. Shields on. I'm harder to kill. Yay. Let me find a good group of enemies. They're all behind me. I don't want to go behind me. I want to advance. So, our 4. Our 4 is special. I hit 4. I am in a space-time rift thing. If I die, let me find an enemy to kill me. Kill me, please. Shoot. can do better than that. Oh, no, they can't. Because I've got, Arcane Age has kicked in. Arcane Age has just kicked in, yo. Okay, so, yeah, so this is what would happen if I died. You get teleported back to wherever you were. Well, you get high-speed rewound back to wherever you were. Now, any powers that you cast during that, all that energy is refunded. Except for the amount that you needed to cast the ability in the first place. Oh my goodness. So you can, with the right build, and this one is a little shaky, I need to get flow or primed flow on here somehow. And I'll get around to that.
The holding area. Careful.
Here,
If the warbands detect you, they will surely initiate the execution sequence.
Hey, dude. What's up?
The bypass is done.
Get
Go.
over here. There you are. Shag. Idiot. And here's the other one. Hopefully you are not alerted. He's not alerted. And here's the last one. He's going to be dead in just a moment. I'm going to shank raid him just to make my life a little bit easier. Like so. Alright, so my shield orbs ran out. I should really pick a different ephemera so I can tell more easily that those are not my shield orbs.
Here are the holding cells. Search each one for the hostage.
So you can see the damage multiplier cap. Stop it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, not like this. Why did I teleport down here? There we go. Okay. None of that went well. Nullifiers are still a problem. And will continue to be a problem. Because your laser turrets do not shoot through them. Oh, I attack another one, okay. Yay, freebies!
I thought I was gonna die in
Here,
there.
take a gun.
Thank you.
Prisoner located. We need to get them back
Actually,
to command in
take
one
shield
piece.
orbs too.
Find your way
I
to
don't
the
have energy.
exits, and don't leave the subject behind.
Give me a sec. Damn it. Give me another sec. She's also got another thing. So this thing in the lower right-hand corner that says 100% ability strength. That is a modifier that apply. You basically, every time you cast a power, a pip fills up, and once you hit the third pip, the next power you cast has plus 100% ability strength. So, let's find an enemy. Actually, no, heck with that. Let's get you on there. Better shields. There we go. Oh, hey, it's you. Okay. So the turrets have kind of a limited arc in which they'll fire, so you do have to be somewhat cognizant of that. And anything that isn't... So these things are shielded. They normally resist heat.
Walkers
This doesn't care.
incoming.
Oh, missed that. I swear this is a survivable frame. I promise. If I'm paying attention for more than a second. Okay, there we go. There we go. Let me find a crowd of enemies, because this thing shines when there's crowds. There's her slash procs, which don't do anything. No, they're kind of crap. Because they don't do tons of damage. But you can plant a lot of them down. Three. So you can see those numbers ramping up. Ramping up. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. He did. What just did a radio number? What the hell was that? I have no idea. Oh, hey! Look at that. You can stack and warp them. They die. Oh, here we go. We get a friend. So, with any luck, I will not muff this. I am muffing it already rather badly. I need... That's not what I wanted. Whatever, you can see his health going down up at the top. He's dead. I did nothing but kind of run around like a chicken with my head cut off. There's my energy. Thank you. I have to fix this build. This build is not working right now because I don't have the energy on command like I used to. My previous build had primed flow on, and that gave me a ton of spare energy. Let me get up to some real casting antics. Protea is also a little annoying to farm, but I didn't find her that annoying because it's basically you doing the same thing over and over and over again, and it's not especially difficult. It just takes a while because there's a bunch of other stuff that drops.
You exist to strike. You strike to
Nice,
win.
another secondary
The
deadhead.
lesson
Sweet.
ends.
You need 21 of those to max it out, and I maybe have 6. With that, though, I do have to absolutely run right now. Like, I cannot stay. But I do this every Wednesday. Thank you for showing up, Kazong. Thank you for showing up, Swiggish. Swigish? Swigish. There are a lot of good frames. I would be hard-pressed to find frames that are bad. Most of them have at least some niche in which they excel, or at least can be good in. Even Oberon. Actually, Oberon's pretty good now. I'm not slagging off Oberon. Oberon's pretty good. There aren't a ton of frames that heal. He does healing. I think he does status prevention too now, maybe? Don't quote me on that. He's not very good at nuking. Mag is another frame. Mag is a sleeper really good frame, particularly for Steel Path. Very good abilities. She's got armor stripping. She's got her 2. She's got crowd control. She's got a lot to reckon. Ooh, what's the where we going? What we doing? Oh wow, they're adding more Nightwave ranks. What? New War hotfix 31.0.8 is coming in 3 minutes. Creds. Everybody. Additional ranks makes rank 180. Have been added to current Nightwave. I'm at like not very high. Intermission, which means they're going to keep doing this Nightwave for a long time yet. I thoroughly enjoy knowing that culturally defining 2009 banger of a song is stuck in your heads now. Go ahead, you tube it. Okay. I'm not actually sure what they're talking about. That's okay. Let me find a frame that's bad here.
Order seems to have misplaced those enemies.
I give up. Yareli's kind of because she's like very damage focused and doesn't scale like Octavia or Ashe, or she doesn't have things that allow her to scale well. Zaku's okay. He's got stuff that, like, he's got a evasion buff he can give himself, which is pretty good. Keeps him from taking damage. Nidus can get very strong. Zephyr has an ability that makes her all projectiles just bounce off, and you have a giggle there. Otherwise, she's kind of she's okay. I like Zephyr. I like the movement bonus. Frames that are bad. You get use out of Fraggoth. He's got some crowd control. Nyx can become invincible, an invincible walking orb. Neja has massive damage resistance and speed and a bunch of other stuff. Loki's great. Core serves her purpose. Good for looting, so always good. Lavos can be very strong, but I have a hard time using him because I don't really have a good flow or pattern down personally. I haven't figured that out. But his powers are strong, but I'm just not very good with him. Hildred is invincible. Inaros is durable, but not invincible. Grendel is kind of a tough one to recommend. He's kind of jokey, but he does have good crowd control potential. He's durable as well, so there you go. Gauss, durable, can nuke, can be speedy. Frost does what he does. Excalibur kills things. Ember kills things. Baruch commits war crimes. Hence why he's covered in blood. Atlas is moderately durable, can do a bit of looting on the side, and can hit pretty hard. All right, what are the other messages here? Hotfix coming out, let it rip. Tenno, Caliban's Cranion helmet has been added to the Nightwave credits offerings rotation. Keep an eye out for it in future rotations so that you too can continue to live out your best Beyblade spinning vortex death life. Let it rip. We fixed another case of data keys not dropping from Orb Valis jailers. Gotta wonder what was on those keys that they didn't want us to have, and they're deploying the patch now. Also, good news, they are going to be coming out with cross-platform play and cross-saving soon. Well, I say soon. Sometime this year. So all you folks who are on another console, other than PC, we can play together within the next 365 days, probably, I hope. As well as we can transfer saves eventually between consoles and whatnot, which will be great as well. For each console release, the game has allowed PC players at least to transfer their accounts to a different console, but soon you won't have to do even that. And you could, it was one way as well, like you couldn't do it the other way around. It was only PC outwards and not console inwards, and it was only for like a month or two, a couple months after the respective console versions released. With that though, I do have to run, but soon, yeah, we'll be able to play together, including the mobile players, because they're coming out with a version of it for phones and tablets. I have no idea how that's going to work. I have serious questions. Then again, for all I know, there's a Switch version, so that's basically going to be the same there, except that has actual controller stuff. So I don't know how that's going to work on a touchscreen, but it probably does. All right, I gotta run. I do other streams throughout the week. I do a Mecha Monday stream where I do something giant robot related or mecha adjacent. Right now we're doing a run through of Remote Control Dandy, which is where you play a small child remote controlling a truly massive robot and defending the city from other massive robots and other such threats. It's awesome. It's from the PS1 era. It's good. I promise. I'm just bad at it. Don't worry, the game's good. I also have a Free Read Fridays stream where I read short stories and indeed entire novels aloud. Right now we are part of the way, almost halfway through Heavy Time by C.J. Cherry. If you are watching the current season of The Expanse and want to know where Mr. Corey was cribbing notes from, this one's worth checking out for Belter culture, asteroid belt culture. And then I do this, Warframe Wednesdays, every Wednesday. So anytime you want to do Warframe, watch me do Warframey stuff for a couple hours, this is the place to be. All right, I gotta run. It was a pleasure. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone who tuned in, and see you.